fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week.
Wherever you go, you can listen to the news. You can swing with the blues on this wonderful, wonderful station. Just take a lively companion wherever you go. Take a portable radio. Take a portable radio.
Now, here comes the music.
And I know you're all excited about it. It's the show. It's show 354. It's the 14th of August. Hi, everybody. Welcome to it. This is Clayton McKee. Doug Wilkie has the night off.
She's exhausted. Good for him. He works so hard.
For those of you who are regular viewers, watchers, listeners, These are the original cast members of the show. Or not original.
Current
This is the
cast
current cast members. Kat Carlson sitting right there. Marty Ryer, Al Perkins. Look at this. We're all in black tonight. How did that work out? I appreciate all of this.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That dress
Very
code
nice.
drive over the last
Yeah,
5 years
wow.
has really paid off.
I finally opened that last email from you.
Oh, dress code. Oh, all right.
Yeah, first show. Please wear black every week.
Oh, my heavens. I don't know where
Are you
everybody
doing your
is.
hair in your phone?
Look at it.
I
Looks,
should have taken a
it's
picture of me
lovely.
for a minute. I was ready to smile.
It's very nice.
I'd let you know.
Oh, for crying
Gosh.
out loud. Well, thanks all for
Music
being here,
park for
showing up to the
forever.
show, which I don't think the four of us have been in the same room for a little while.
June.
Has it been?
I think
It's been that long?
I think it's been a month.
No, yeah, there was the one
Oh, we
show
were off
back
for
that
a
we all
month.
showed up because we weren't expecting you.
Oh,
and
but
then
you came down because
Yeah.
Doug was here and
Yep.
you came in late and sat over there.
Oh, sure.
So you were here for one of those shows, right? But
Yeah.
but it's been crazy the past couple months. People
Very busy.
I understand that people are busy. What in the hell?
I'm doing my hair. Excuse me a minute.
That hair and makeup bitch is fired. Where is she?
Wow.
Go on.
I'm writing it down. Fire, hair, and
Oh,
makeup.
are we on?
Oh, that's done.
Is this on? Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Buckeye.
Is
Wait
that
a
a
minute.
bit?
Is that
Kat
a
just
bit?
Are we doing
automatically
bits
makes
now?
lists.
Maybe.
What? Did I say?
She just automatically makes lists now. That's her job.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making a list.
Good. Well, you should. You always do.
I had to write something down, so
I
now it's a list.
I feel like in the past couple months you've made a lot of lists, and now you're making new lists after the old
Because
lists
I
were
checked off the old list.
Yeah,
Sure.
well,
Did they really get checked off though?
Do you think it
For the
carried-
most part, yeah.
I think
You want me to?
something-
I still have them. You
Okay.
want me to
No,
go
I
back?
believe you. I believe you. I was just curious.
Things may have been carried over.
Yep.
Carried over. Cary Grant.
Bridget's been waiting for us in the
Cucumbers?
chat
Did
room.
we buy
Oh,
cucumbers?
Bridget's
I think
on
we
the
did.
YouTube.
Oh, nice.
She's on the YouTube.
Hi,
yes.
Bridget. Welcome. Thank you.
From Northern
Hi.
Arizona, if
My
I'm not
mom
mistaken.
is
That is
right
correct.
there.
Yeah. Kingman, I think, right?
You know, I always
Kingman.
appreciate how
Thereabouts.
tech savvy my mom is. She's putting emojis in the chat room.
I know. She's something.
She's on it. I can just see her up there with all of her
know.
iPad
Gadgets.
and her phone and her TV and all her wine.
Controlling
Does
the
she have
world.
like the like
the desk,
Star
the
Trek
gas.
kind of like no, that's different sound. I
Similar,
You
though.
know,
Now I
we
see
Check
where
with
you're
the
going.
sound effects guy
Yeah.
recently.
Nice. It's good. I like
I
it.
feel like he's asleep at the switch.
I'm gonna go back to my hair.
What does this? What makes this noise? What is this device?
I was saying like Captain Kirk's chair.
Oh, like she's got
You
a
know,
big
like,
control
she has her own
console.
kind
Okay.
of console going.
No, it's just her little couch and her.
which I think is fantastic.
Point of order.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Captain Kirk's chair didn't really have any controls on it. He just like sat there in like
that's
that
right.
lean, kind of like you do.
he
in the
barked.
lean, and then he would just say,
I'm
"Mr.
Captain
Sulu,"
Kirk.
and bark his
Go
order out.
faster.
Right.
That's
And it was always
Yeah.
go faster.
Right.
It was
Warp
never like
speed.
slow this
Warp
bitch down.
speed.
We are,
Yeah.
we are wasting gas, motherfucker. We got nothing to have.
He was
The
the
space
original.
economy is
Yeah.
tanking. Why don't
No,
we
I'm-
save a little gas here?
I'm
There's
pretty
not
sure
a gas station
if-
for miles.
there-
Slow this shit down.
There's a couple people listening that I'm sure could tell us. I don't remember what the Enterprise was powered by. Like
Mayonnaise.
you.
That was
That
my
was a,
guess. I
that
don't
was
know.
a very special episode.
That's the only thing Miracle Whip is good
being
for.
Mayonnaise, yeah.
That's it.
One was more
It was a
efficient.
warp drive.
I get. Well,
What,
I
the,
do
what the
that.
fuel to the warp drive is, I don't remember.
I don't know.
But it's
I
the
don't
warp
rec-
drive that
'Cause I don't know if in the future
powers
they
the
were
I
thinking
entire
it
feel
was
like
nuclear.
later in this series it was nuclear because I feel like somehow that killed
Somebody
Spock
asked the
one
question.
Time, yeah. And one of the times that Spock died.
Okay.
So hard to kill.
Might be.
She said, "My mom. No,
Or-
I'm on the couch. Of course,
She's not on the bridge of the
Or
Enterprise.
bridge.
some weird rock that they found on a planet
Right.
somewhere.
Right. That,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
that
Oh,
it,
like a
emits
crystal of
energy.
some
You know, at this point, it could go
that's probably
either
right.
way.
It could be a
Yeah.
crystal.
If only there was a way.
By the way,
I mean, crystal fuels a lot of shit.
Yeah. Good call.
a lot of people here in Central Phoenix.
Not all
I
of
see
it for
them.
good. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
not all of it for
Good
good.
entire underground economy, sure.
We've decided.
Undermining modern dentistry at every turn.
Yeah, but I mean, those implants, they're permanent.
Exactly. Maybe I'm not focusing on the right part of the crack, but crystal.
I'm going to guess that some of them didn't have good teeth to begin with. This is just a guess. We've also decided here in
Judges
the
are going to
studio,
allow that. Yeah, that seems fair.
based on the snack quality and value that Kat Carlson has brought with her, she's making big Cobalt money now.
moving on up.
She is. She brought in pretzels that already have yogurt on them.
I know.
No more tiny can or broken nuts. No,
Well
no.
done.
Oh, no. Look.
I got big bag of whole nuts
Yeah.
Oh, well,
and
he's got
medium
ball dust
bag.
on him, nut
Look at
dust.
those
Yogurted pretzels.
very
Would
nice.
you like some?
Now, what
I'd
is
be happy to
the
share.
PLU? What is
That's
the
the PLU is the
It's the SKU number at the.
Oh.
So they came out of like the bulk
I
food
saw-
bins.
never
My
mind.
my local
Yeah.
grocery people
Sure.
have installed.
Well
My
done.
grocery humans.
Just your grocery
humans.
humans.
Yeah, you offer them to him. What do
Oh,
I?
I'm so sorry. Yes,
yeah,
please.
I
I'll
take
be
it
so-
on the goddamn
You
yogurt
have all the
bandwagon.
yogurt you
Sons of
want.
fucking
Pass them
bitches.
around. Take one down. Pass it around.
It's a lovely thing you've brought.
Oh, no,
And
I'm-
what
Yeah, but they've-
store? What store did you
The
participate?
fries, food, and drug.
Okay,
nice.
all right. I don't think we have that option at the crack fries that's right here. I think you're at a marketplace,
No,
right?
well, you have to
no,
go to,
I don't go to Fancy Fries. I just go to a regular fries, food, and drug, but it's way up,
Yeah,
like Greenway and 64th
But every other
Street.
customer is not named
Far away.
Crystal at yours.
True.
I don't think we have the
And
fancy
most
stuff
of my
like that.
most of my fellow customers probably not on Crystal. It's more pills there. Yeah,
Well played.
a little upper class neighborhood, you know.
Oh yeah,
Pills.
absolutely.
Pills.
20th Street in Highland has the bins.
No.
You know, because it's a
Oh no, right, but that one was all remodeled and
snooty.
redone.
Yeah,
Crack
I
County
like
has
it.
bins too. I feel like you could bulk something up there.
I bet
I feel
they're
like
right
I've
next
seen
to
it.
right next door to the chips and down the aisle from the coffee usually.
No,
Ours is in that produce part.
Oh, good call. That's a good
There-
place to put it.
I'd have to look again. I don't recall seeing this.
Yeah, there's a
these
section
things.
with different things.
But then perhaps if you only wanted, say, 7 yogurt covered pretzels, you could
Like
just
a girl does.
like a girl does sometimes. You say, "Gosh, you know what would be really good right now?
7.
pretzels covered in
7.
yogurt."
Yeah.
8 would be
Very
extravagant.
Then you would only have to pay for them. You wouldn't have to buy the entire package.
And
You
6
could
would only
you could
be
Well,
only
if I'm
pay.
not mistaken, that was one of the things when President Obama would retire to his study after dinner with the family and all. Part of his evening routine was he read whatever his stuff that he needed to read, and he had, if I'm not mistaken, it was 7 lightly salted or non-salted almonds.
Oh.
And that was, I'm like, that's 7. Like that was his thing, 7
Strange.
almonds. I don't know.
No, I'm probably just fixing to eat this whole bag. I'm not.
No.
Oh, I don't anticipate it getting out of here alive.
Well, that's
I
just
have
it. When
not
you
the
look at that on
discipline-
the back and it says, 13, serving size 13. I'm not counting.
No.
I'm not.
Oh,
I
no.
At
just
least not over
multiply. I
10.
just multiply by that number because that's what I'm
Hence,
eating. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't understand.
It's a nice suggestion of them.
Thank you for that suggestion. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to
That's like
take it.
Triscuits. I just eat them till they're gone. That's
Yeah.
See,
That's
and now
the rules.
Triscuits, that
Serving
I can't
size,
do,
1
but
box.
Wheat Thins, done.
Oh, I
I
will
do
say
appreciate a Wheat Thin.
Wheat Thins don't fill a girl up as quickly as the Triscuit, so you can really go
very
after
nice.
those. Yeah.
I do.
But
Like,
I could
Triscuits are a little bit, there's something texturally.
Oh, and with a nice glass
something.
of milk. Oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
delicious. Just a nice treat.
And I like
God,
the
I'm gonna
shredded
throw
wheat.
Up. A milk?
Yeah, I drink milk with everything now.
Yeah. I
Ask
Oh,
me-
shredded wheat.
No, I'm just gonna say,
Okay.
ask me something else, and I'll tell you it's delicious. Cold Mexican food. Oh, it's delicious with a cold.
Delicious
glass
with a cold glass of milk. That's true.
Oh,
Italian food, delicious with
Leftover
a cold glass of
spaghetti.
milk.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
fantastic with a cold glass of milk.
I agree.
Pizza.
Okay, come on,
Cold
guys.
glass of
Cold
No.
glass of milk.
This is
I-
a conspiracy.
Oh,
No.
Oh, to me, there's nothing. I just a lot of ice and make the milk as cold as you can get it.
You put ice in your milk?
Yes, because I want it cold.
I
Put
don't
it in
go
the
that far.
fridge.
It is, but I want it cold, more colder.
Yeah,
But I
no,
have-
but I understand. But
I have
then it
been
gets
known that
watered
some
down.
special.
No.
some
I drink it
special
so
food was
fast.
coming.
Yeah.
I drink it
There
so
was a
fast I don't
special
have time.
food coming, so I'll put the milk in the freezer for a
Oh.
little while in anticipation of the goodness about
Smart.
to arrive.
Well, clearly,
PB&J sandwich.
Yeah.
I'll be fine
Cold glass
drinking
of
my
milk.
iced tea with all of that, and you guys can have all
And
the
I
milk.
can't. The taste of tea just doesn't work for me.
Oh.
Oh, that rhymed too. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I totally didn't mean
Putting that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, the taste of tea.
You should
doesn't-
write that down.
Put it on your list.
Put it on your list. Yeah, list.
I haven't written anything
Well,
down in a
I
while.
apologize for my reaction. I did not.
No,
know
that was
the
an
trend.
organic, genuine reaction. It's quite
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, and I
I always thought there was something wrong with people that had milk with dinner. Quite frankly, because I thought you had to have scotch or beer, according to my.
Oh wow. And
I mean, honestly, I went to my friend Ellen Johnson, and she had to her home, and she had like 4. I think there were 5 kids total at the house, so that was weird.
All of them drinking
compared to-
scotch.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's it. No,
didn't know
that's
where
what
we
made
were
them all
at.
kind. No,
Tuesday.
that's what all kind of made them fucked up, because they all sat around the table with mom and dad, and hi, champ, how are you? And like I'm just being a smartass because it was wild to me. They sat there, they drank milk with dinner. No one had a soda. I was like, am I having Sunkist or Pepsi tonight?
Yeah.
You know, and maybe 2. And so I never. And the TV would be on, and the whole thing. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting at their table thinking, these are some fucked up people.
See,
Why are they talking to each other, drinking milk? No TVs on anywhere. Like, I'm looking around startled. I thought it was weird.
because they're
Wow.
not real. Those are Matrix people.
Thank
Because let me
you.
tell you, I try that whole let's sit at the table and
Yeah.
have a nice family dinner thing.
Yeah.
You know what happens the whole fucking time? Sit out. No, put your fucking feet down. Get your feet off my goddamn table. If you don't eat that dinner, I'm gonna throttle you within an inch of your life.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? It's
Lots
just a
of
constant.
threats.
It's a constant barrage of what
Yeah.
the fuck are you doing? Why can't we just sit here for 30 minutes at a table?
Sure. So it doesn't go as well.
Yeah, not
that.
those families. No.
You gotta break those kids' spirits early.
That was right out of that.
I
Fucking,
bet.
like they were right out of watching the TV shows, Harriet and Ozzy or whatever.
We
their
had
fucking
dinner
names were.
every night at 4:30, like every single night at 4:30 with the TV off most of the time, unless there was something
Like
like
things were
weather-wise,
happening.
something
Yeah.
we had to watch. But at 4:30 sharp, you
Really?
were home for dinner, and dinner was served, and we ate together, and we talked. And like when my sister started dating her, her husband, future husband, he had to sit with us like every meal. If you came over to our house for dinner, you like had a place.
Yeah.
And we sat
Of
in
course,
the same.
of
We had
course,
assigned.
right, yeah.
It was assigned seating.
I
You
can
did
believe
not
that.
move.
Yeah.
Not a
But there
general
was
admission.
there was room for
Company.
like my mom had a space, but she was usually working.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then there was a space for a guest. So like you never knew. You could be the
You could be,
you could be the
Ruthie,
guest star on one of
maybe.
these two chairs.
Who's behind door number 1? It's a very exciting game.
I mean,
Okay, so you're gonna be shocked. Like seriously, and all of our tons of listeners will be as well. We never really ate at the same time or on time. Like there was
Yeah, oh.
never a
Well, you sure as hell would never.
fuck no. Like there was never a 6:30.
yeah,
be
3
home,
trains
honey.
leave the station and none of
Yeah,
them know where they're going.
right.
When will they arrive at dinner?
and my dad worked nights, and my mom,
Yeah.
so whatever. And again, scotch and beer at dinner. So the
Even if when my dad worked midnights, he still got up at 4:30 to have dinner with us and went back to bed.
Whoa.
Like
How nice is that? I didn't realize that was a thing.
Oh yeah, like every day till the day I moved.
I don't mean that as a slam
No,
to my
no.
family. It's just that if you don't know that,
Yeah.
I really thought the Johnsons were kind of.
So whenever I went to someone's house, it was utter chaos. I'm like,
Sure.
who the fuck can eating this nonsense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was just stuff everywhere.
No,
Okay.
ours
Fantastic.
were always organized, and I
Yeah.
don't. It was always water or milk for us. We never had that. Now, if it was like a family gathering and it was a weekend thing, and everybody was together to celebrate a birthday or whatever,
picnic going on,
it would
and-
be sandwiches, cold cuts, and a beer for whatever the adults and yada
Liquor
yada.
sometimes
But-
made it to the table.
But more often than not, no. Just a
true.
regular day to day, no.
Yeah.
It was never that with us.
That's
and mom
wild.
always. I mean, sometimes she had to work late or whatever, and if it was left up to, didn't happen often. Me to she would literally call me.
you can't even say the words.
I know.
cook.
I know. I was
I know,
like,
it's
go
like,
ahead.
wow.
It's okay.
But she would call and tell
You're
me,
in a safe place.
Yeah.
can you set out something to thaw, like set out the ground beef to thaw or whatever, and I could do all of that stuff, and then she'd come home and prep, and then we'd all just do.
Yeah.
Now, were breakfasts chaos? Were there breakfast things,
Yeah.
or was that just no?
Breakfast was chaos because I'd roll out of bed.
Yeah.
And be like, shit! What time? I mean, I was 4 and I was doing that.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
nothing
No,
really has
like
changed.
the coffee was made, like
Surprise
stuff
face.
was cooking.
Yeah, I
and,
know.
Like, yeah.
Oh, duh.
Okay.
I don't know. Everything was all kind of like we were at it. My father was like,
Yeah,
should
but
have run
it sounds
trains.
like,
He
yeah, I
was
was
so fucking
gonna
on
say,
time.
it sounds like you had a very,
Who like
really
can't put a
structured.
watch on my body to save my life.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that trained us with my mom was, hi, Aaron from LA. Actually, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
I don't know if you were listening at the top of the show. We have a question with regards
It's
to the
legit.
Starship Enterprise. What was the power source for said Enterprise? Get back to us.
I said mayonnaise.
So
Yeah, the
my
Miracle
mom,
Whip,
my mom was always very
specifically.
good with this, and to this day it's the same thing. She's like, I'm cooking, it's done. If you want it, come and just heat up a plate, do your own thing.
Soup's on.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times when it was, we all ate together or whatnot. But for the most part, mom was like, I'm cooking now. And if you don't want it now, well, then you're going to figure out what you're going to do later. Like,
Sure.
you'll heat it up or you'll do whatever. But yeah, she kind of let us all run on our own schedule, which was nice.
Right.
Because we were all over the place doing stuff. But, oh my gosh, the fun
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't.
And if you asked for something that was not offered on the 4
Mm-hmm.
item menu, this is a goddamn cafeteria.
It's not a short order house.
That's all he would say. It's not a goddamn cafeteria. We were right. Funky rocks or crystals
Oh, okay. There was a
for the win.
I mean, Marnie said mayonnaise, but we were thinking it was either
Crystallized
nuclear
mayonnaise.
or a crystal or something. What is it? Dilithium crystals.
I like dilithium. It sounds real.
Sounds lovely. Is that a made-up word, or is that like a TV word?
Is that the same thing in lightsabers?
Yeah.
and Aaron,
And it was nice seeing you, Aaron. Goodbye.
and Aaron, the reason we were talking about the Enterprise was the fact that Al said that you never heard them say that they had to slow it down. It was always, let's speed this up. We got to go faster.
Warp speed.
For the
Warp
warp, for the warp
speed,
drive.
right?
I think-
The warp drive, right?
I mean, it's kind of like when you go through parts of LA. There is nothing here. Just drive.
Now, Aaron in the chat room is saying for the warp drive that he thought the impulse engines had a more conventional fuel source. But get back to us. I don't know about that, but we'll figure it out. But
We
I
can't
would,
do that first, people
but
have
like
never
even like the Millennium Falcons, the X Fighters, all the stuff in the Star
Wow, look
Wars
at you with
series.
all the names.
I know. I'm impressed.
I don't follow it all, but I know some names of those things.
Sure.
Or it's the coffee. I'm not sure.
Well,
Later on in the show, we'll
I don't know what an
remember
X fighter
anything.
is, but it sounded really real.
I
They're
found
X-wing fighters. They actually look like X's. They have the two wings that go up. They look
oh,
like
the
yeah.
X's.
bad guys. Yeah.
X-wing fighters.
I found what we'll get
Space
your
Force.
mom for Christmas.
You found what you'll get my
Yeah,
mom.
I sent you.
Oh, okay, well, I'll get
Yeah.
back to it in a
No.
minute. Kat
Like the
Carlson.
planes from Star Wars?
Yeah, she'll love it. She loves to build models.
Clayton Mickey, ladies and gentlemen.
What have you been doing since we last saw you?
Working.
I know you have. You had one. You
Every
did it.
day.
You had your
I
Sunday
did.
fun day.
I had one day off, and so you know what I did?
We were just
Went to a bar.
behind
Went to the bar.
you. We were just behind you.
I know. I
your
saw that.
check-ins.
I was very kind of disappointed that we had just missed you. But yeah, finally got a day off, and so we went and had some brunch at the Fez. And Sharon had not seen the new Cobalt yet,
Oh.
so I said, "Okay, sure, we'll swing by." And she got good and drunk off my new cocktail menu, which is good.
Atta girl.
Yeah,
There's no
that's
stronger
lovely.
recommendation than
Right.
that.
Yeah, she had a couple of cocktails, and then we said, "Well, let's pop into Stacy's." And I looked at her once we got to Stacy's, and I said, "You're drunk.
You're already drunk.
You're drunk."
Yeah.
You drunk?
That's it. And then I worked some more.
Okay.
I'd like to interrupt this. We have Benny Graham from North Carolina.
No,
in the
breaking
room.
news,
Hi,
North
Benny
Carolina.
Graham.
Well, hi, Benny.
Good morning,
Hello.
North Carolina.
Welcome, North Carolina.
How did you find us, Benny? Could you let us know? And why do
You
you
went
listen?
to
Thank you.
shitty podcasts.
Oh.
Just Google shitty podcast.
Shitty gay podcasts.
I don't know.
I
thought
don't think we
that
need to
could've
narrow.
been-
They're just podcasts,
Just
Marnie.
podcasts. Oh yeah, it's
I
not
just
gay
think
marriage.
I always find it interesting to find out how somebody found us and what they listen, why they listen.
www.IgotNothingBetterToDo.com.
That's
There
praying.
goes the time I thought I was going to spend without my glasses on. Now I got to read shit.
Welcome
Beautiful
back.
idea.
Welcome
I like
back.
it.
I was told there'd be no participation.
Yeah, so it's really been just all work and no play.
How did the hiring go? Who'd you hire? Who's-
Wonderfully, we've got a couple of people coming in. They're still kind of accepting shifts and negotiating their contracts.
Ah, very
Sure.
nice, very nice.
Okay.
Kind of like you.
Basically, I left that in the boss's hands. I gave him literally a list with like names and phone numbers and shifts. I'm like, why don't we do this? Would you like to call them?
I met your
I like that you delegate.
I met your new one of your new servers. I
Oh,
met,
delegate.
Long-time
up
listener,
and
so
down.
yeah, so he found us a long time ago.
oh,
good for
okay.
him.
Well, thanks.
Fusion,
Thanks for
yeah.
sticking around.
Wow.
I met
Who'd you
one of
meet?
your,
Thank
one of your
you,
new
Aaron.
servers. I met her
Oh, wait, and now
last
there's
night.
an Alan Sledge in here
Rachel.
too.
We like
Hi,
Rachel a lot.
Alan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ellen or Alan?
Alan.
Hi,
Yeah.
Alan.
Not so much.
Well, no, it's all right. She's got a couple things to learn.
Well, sure, everybody does.
Yeah, like don't take a glass away from me. She reaches out and just I'm like, okay, there's still ice and liquid in that. Like, no, we're just because I had said no, wait, I'm good.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a fucking arm comes in, and I'm like, no! And I grab it back from her.
Atta girl.
But I'm like,
That's like when they touch the cream sauce at Durant's. You will lose a
you
finger.
will lose it, right?
And I will win that court case because I can get 100 witnesses that heard me warn you.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting.
gonna
But,
write that down.
but she was on it. She was all over that room doing all kinds of stuff. And it was just the one bartender, right? That's how you roll on a Monday? You've
So far-
one bartender and a server, which,
So
Good
far,
times.
seems to be doing the job. I think.
okay.
If it's not, we'll add.
Oh no, right. You'll pitch and
Yeah.
pivot. I obviously get
We'll
that.
figure it out, but-
no, it was there. You had there was a good crowd for the bingo. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, I heard it was a lot of fun. I heard staff had a good time, and
well, and
everything
really,
went
that's
pretty
what's
smoothly.
important.
Right.
Is that if the staff, fuck the customers.
I
as
don't
long
give
as
a
the-
shit about you
Yeah.
people. You're
Totally.
gonna come
Now-
here whether or not.
The funny thing was, somebody brought up from the crowd had yelled to Olivia, "Hey, where's the popcorn machine?" And
Did she bring some out?
And Olivia says, no, she said something about, well, we took a vote and about the popcorn. I don't know if any of this is true or not, but she said, we took a vote about the popcorn machine and the vote came in, but whatever. She said, and we lost or something to that effect. And I said, no, I yelled out, no, we lost. Customers lost. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we're the ones who consumed the popcorn. We lost is what you basically, she's like, oh, she goes, well, maybe the midterms will bring it back.
Oh, that's smart. Well, she has trouble holding the job, you know.
Oh, Olivia?
Yeah, she tell you how she lost her job at the orange juice factory.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah,
Giving
she
away
couldn't
popcorn?
concentrate.
Yeah,
Stop.
but
it.
bump.
She's
Same joke every week.
She's
every
the queen of
goddamn
puns.
week.
She is the queen of
I like it.
puns.
I like it.
So
Yeah.
Alan Sledge is listening.
Oh, Alan's
Hi, Alan.
two
Hello,
doors down,
Alan.
right
Oh,
here.
hi, Alan.
Hello,
He
Alan.
says dilithium crystals, which produce proton plasma.
Oh, well
Oh,
done.
my
Yes.
gosh.
Chat rooms at once.
I should
Yes.
introduce Aaron.
Okay,
and-
guys, we
I know, we have
gotta
that up
put a
there.
kibosh on this
By
right
the way,
now
no,
because this is
'cause
about
I-
to become an
no.
entirely different
I have
podcast.
found.
I
found
did
way
not
too many
sign
good
on
things.
for.
boring
Right.
podcast.
Well, I will no.
Not
but
that
I,
we were entertaining to begin with.
Also,
Right.
but
if Alan is 2 doors down, he's like, "Shut up down there." For
But
God's sake.
all I'm going to tell
This
you
is
about is
wild.
Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan because
Yeah.
I saw it 100 million fucking times in Full
Yeah.
Circle, and I loved it.
Well,
they were
sure.
selling VCRs at the department store that I worked at, and they had one movie. So
It was Wrath of
all
Khan.
it was
from-
Rathacon.
Yeah.
So from open to close, they played the one VHS tape that we sold
Sure.
because it was a whole new thing.
Right.
Right.
So I would go on break, and I seriously watched that movie like every shift I worked. I'd be like, this is just terrific.
Good. Yeah.
So, oh, and
It's
the-
got Ricardo Montalban. How can you
Oh,
Corinthian
how
leather.
can you go wrong?
And Kirstie Alley.
Okay, that's right. Kirstie Alley
yeah.
was in that.
I didn't realize that.
Oh my god.
I did because I saw it 500
Yeah, there you go,
million
that's true.
times. And she was all kinds of coked out, it turns out. So,
I'm
Marina, what you
Shocking.
got?
Yeah, I like that about her.
Mayonnaise.
that.
Mayonnaise.
What did I miss?
Just,
Why are we
just
mayonnaising
working.
everything?
Just working. That's really about it, which is
Good work.
really kind of
Good job.
interesting.
I like how
that's-
when Marnie entered the house earlier, and I asked her, I said, I don't know, you called me or you texted me like 45 minutes ago saying you were going to stop by in like 20 minutes, and then 45 minutes goes by. I'm like, I don't know how I couldn't live with your life, your schedule, and all this stuff. And she says, I hate people.
It makes me a horrible social worker.
No,
Or does
there's
it?
got to be a limit between. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in the public eye, at some point you've got to realize
You
people
have to.
just are going to annoy you.
Yeah, fair point.
happens.
Well made. Just been working. And if there is something else that's interesting, I'm not sure of it.
Well, in the past week, did you go anywhere? Did you go anywhere last weekend? What did you do?
God, I
Chili
don't-
cook-off?
I am not aware of it.
Well,
To the best of my
To the best of my knowledge.
Right.
I did
I,
not leave the house.
I don't think I
I
did.
do not recall.
Okay. You've not held any more animals hostage, have you?
No, but
It's been a minute.
Oh.
it's been a minute.
What?
Well, my sister out in New Jersey, half
Yeah.
sister.
Okay.
Whatever. She always gets irritated with the half part, but whatever.
Wait, are we trafficking hostages?
No,
Yeah.
not well, maybe.
Exactly.
She actually runs a rescue, which can be a dangerous thing, but whatever. Anyway,
You can't transport them across state lines.
well, if
You know, Ernie's already started the Underground
no,
Railroad.
actually,
digging the tunnel to her
It
house.
was me that kind of jumped on this thing.
They're
There
like the
was
coyotes of shelter
a
dogs.
dog
over
that
here.
was incredibly, awfully abused, and she put a thing. Stephanie put a post up about it, and I just stared at this thing. I mean, it was they rescued her. They got him out of this situation, and so I was like, if we could get him here, I would certainly. I'm sorry I'm so far away, and she's like, Martin, I'll bring him to you, because as far as knowing that this.
Now, how do you know that if you put this dog, and I realize that you have a loving environment, how do you know that this
Nurturing
dog would
even.
work with your other?
That's the problem. I mean, that really is the.
I mean,
the biggest
Swiffer's
problem.
crazy.
Well, Swiffer, is the fucking nutbag.
Rudy, that's the dog's name, right? I call him Swiffer.
And
Looks like a
Patty Hearst.
Roomba.
Oh my God, it was so funny
Poor
when
Patty
came
Hearst.
over the other day. Patty Hearst, you still have. That's Patty Hearst. You still have her. Yes,
She didn't have her
I do.
beret on that day.
No,
Didn't
not that
recognize
day.
her.
The machine gun,
Machine
the
gun.
array, everything was missing.
She hid the small gun.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, that really is the issue.
Yeah, I'm
Because
wondering
when
how
you're
it
in when you're in the same area, you can do an overnight or kind
Right.
of visit things and see. Obviously, being 3,000 miles
How,
away would make.
So how long ago was this dog rescued, and how much progress?
Sunday.
Oh, okay. So we don't really have any idea of how the
Like
progress
48
is gonna
hours
go.
ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I was told there'd be no math.
Yes.
You brought it up.
I know I did.
I'm thinking that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what. it
Okay,
I'm
so
both assigning
so at this
and
point,
accepting the
at
blame
this
at the
point,
same
though, you want to take the dog. You really
Efficient.
don't know how this is going to turn out for the dog.
I don't. They've taken him, and he literally was left in a cage in a closet, and had feces all over him. It was just like never taken out. I mean, the whole thing where I was just
Oh.
sitting there, and I'm like, what? and it's this brindle little sweetheart. Just, I
have a
was
picture?
Like, yeah.
Okay, would you send me the
yeah.
picture?
Oh, we might have people that live closer to Jersey that could help.
Seriously. If
Or
you
it could be
wanna-
part of the transport train.
North
Ah, there you
Carolina's
go.
2/3 of the way there.
Amtrak
There you
goes
go.
cross country.
That's a
Again,
good
I introduced the
call.
math and I declined it at the same time.
Yeah,
That's a good call.
he doth protest too
Yeah.
much, my dear friend
When-
Hal.
When you figure out that you're the problem, the more you
Yeah.
know.
Yes. So, but
Oh,
it
you-
just if
a lot
there
of-
was
there's
a
a
way
lot
to
of
do it, I
Personal growth happening over here, Al. I'm really proud of you.
right.
It doesn't shut me up though.
I really.
Never has. 25 years. Never has.
Now I'm gonna take notes like I'm pretending to be your therapist. Al, I'm really just. I'm very excited about the growth
How do
that
you
you're
feel about it,
displaying.
Al?
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about this.
How did their marriage affect you?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you?
How does a
sleep at
heterosexual-
night? Yeah.
How does a heterosexual marriage affect your life?
Pisses me off.
Well, Bob,
Right.
Because it turns out attending weddings is expensive, motherfuckers.
oh,
I liked it when they felt bad for us and didn't invite us.
Oh.
I avoid them at all costs.
And all the weddings you seem to have to attend are out of the country or on the other end of this
Can't
country.
get a
Yeah,
motherfucker
right?
to get married. Well, my friend Julie did get married in town. That was just
Okay,
an Uber
kind
right
of
away.
her.
Kind of her.
Yeah, that was out in Mesa, right? When you did you?
Yes,
yeah.
I went to Mesa for the second
Yeah.
time in 30 years.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
there's that.
No.
Still
that's
there.
still really shitty.
On purpose.
Yeah, on purpose.
Still
My
Mesa.
apologies to our Mesa listeners. We don't have any.
As a one-time and regretful Mesa resident, I can tell you, it's as bad as they say.
This just in, we lost our connection with the Mesa affiliate.
East Valley is no longer reporting.
Oh, not the whole East Valley. There's got to be something nice out there. I mean, I'll never see it, but
No.
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 So I'm just gonna send you a picture of the good stuff.
Oh well, God, yes.
Yeah.
I don't
I
want
don't want the one covered in feces.
I'm just telling you, I wasn't gonna send all of
I
them.
want the one with the
just-
hair. The hair's done, not the curlers. I want the hair already done on the dog.
That's
Can we? I have two questions for this
Yeah.
dog. Can
Yeah.
we?
For the dog?
Yeah.
Do you have to
Well,
make a
about
phone?
the dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have two questions on this topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
all
the
right.
dog answers,
Two
I'm
things.
leaving.
Hey,
Woo, woo.
can we just go ahead and name the dog Diana Ross?
Yeah.
Because
Maybe.
two, then I want to teach it to do a trick whenever somebody starts singing "I'm Coming Out."
Oh, there you go. I like it.
Wow.
I like it. There's nothing wrong with
I-
it.
That poor dog was locked in the closet. like,
I avoided the closet reference
think it's
but
good.
you,
No.
you got it. I was avoiding it.
No, I
head
think
first,
it's good.
just dove right into that.
All the talons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Which
think it's
reminded
good.
me of
I want him to jump up and do like a little backflip whenever somebody goes, "I'm
He
coming
comes out.
out."
He comes out, and if he had the opposable thumbs, he'd be like, "Oh, hey, girl."
Yeah, I came
But
super-
Oh, that'd be super cute.
Super
Be
close to
awesome.
looking up that type of dog, and then I forgot what it was.
Brindle's
But-
actually a coloring.
Brindle's the coloring. It's
Oh, for the love of Jesus.
Brenda's a
Sorry.
color. How many
Yeah.
crayons are in the box?
17.
You'll see. You'll see that picture.
Brindle.
Oh my God, that makes a Brindle Great Dane. I always thought it was a big
Yeah.
old Great Dane.
No, no.
It's Brindle.
Brindle. Yeah, Brindle.
It's
yeah.
God, the whole world's changed
This
now.
is fantastic.
Tiger striped. What is wrong with calling it tiger striped? Must we?
Real tight show here, guys. Yeah.
Must we?
I haven't seen the pictures yet.
I'm getting there. I got
I
it
mean,
right
tight,
now.
it shows no more tight or loose than it ever is.
It feels
Oh,
looser.
by the way,
Yeah.
we still
Let's
have.
have more
She said.
coffee.
By the way, we still have vodka popsicles in the freezer. Just
No,
Yes.
no.
we have.
Lord of mercy.
Yeah, we still have those.
This is why I can't get on board with animals.
I
Man,
sent you all
They don't like
kinds
What
of
popsicles.
kind of fancy motherfucker goes to Brindle for a tiger stripe? Come on, people.
I've sent you all kinds
It
of
already
gifts,
had a
gifts
name.
for your
Well,
blame the
mother, the
gays.
weather.
I know you're doing a lot over there, Marty.
I'm very busy.
We're
None,
gays.
none of it's helping me, but I mean you're doing a lot.
Okay,
I could just see it. Diana Ross, sit. Diana Ross.
What up,
roll
DR?
over.
Well,
What up, dear?
No, I think
Diana Ross.
come out of the closet.
That's-
I'm coming out.
you'd have to call her Miss Ross.
Miss,
Miss
oh, yeah.
Ross.
But
Call
it's a
her-
but it's a
bitch.
male dog.
That's okay.
Call her
Hey,
Miss
doesn't
Ross.
matter.
However he identifies.
Right.
He came
dog-
out of the
this dog
closet.
is now
Reba
gender fluid.
McIntyre's had a penis for like 30 years.
God damn.
Now he's doing chicken commercials.
I know, right?
Ms. Ross, sit. Ms. Ross, roll over.
Oh, it would be. It
Oh,
would,
he's
It
cute.
would,
Oh, he's
it would delight me
adorable.
to no end if we found out Reba McIntyre listened to the show just.
I know.
Just because of a drag queen joke.
Yep. Yep.
And I can just see her sitting there going, "These people believe I am a drag queen."
You know what would be even more delightful? If you were right.
But I am
For real.
right.
We have a much better chance of Reba McIntyre being a listener if you're correct.
Exactly.
It's really a good point.
I don't recall when you started telling this story that this was an adorable puppy.
I'm telling you.
I
Well,
thought
once
it
they
was an
wash all the
older-
shit off.
It's tiger. Yeah, it's tiger striping.
Yeah, once you get rid of all the
I
feces.
know what's coming.
Yeah.
You're cuter too when we get the shit off
Yeah.
you.
He was bigger, and then they
Yeah.
washed all the shit off. He's a little dog.
18
Well, show us the
months.
shitty
18
dog.
Stand by.
No,
I'm
no.
getting there.
He was in this crate in the closet 18 months.
He's just a little shit.
No.
Oh, where are my fucking pictures? Oh, here we go. There
I'm
we go.
coming.
He's a,
I want
The world to know.
I
Got to let it show.
Where is Nile Rodgers when we need him with the guitar? God damn it.
Yeah, let's go.
oh, the good bass line.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
I don't know what's
Do we have a
happening.
big enough budget? Can we hire a studio band now?
Maybe.
Just Nile Rodgers. It's all we can afford. We went with the
That's
big
fair.
name.
We'll take whatever.
Yeah,
Shot
just-
the whole wad
Let's
on
take what
Nile
we can get.
Rodgers.
Well,
Wow.
and they can't play.
thinking of enrolling
can't
my kids
play
in piano
songs for a
lessons.
long
I don't like how you phrase that, Al, but we're going to accept it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the...
Judges rule?
Yeah, here's the dog.
Shot the wad.
No,
There's Diana.
there's the dog.
Oh, Diana's so
Tiger
cute.
striping.
Yeah, so, and then, now he doesn't look...
Brindle.
He doesn't look happy in this picture, but he's...
Oh,
but
sad
look how
Diana.
We've
cute.
got
No,
chicken
but
legs.
he's
Poor
like, what do you
thing.
want? Yeah, I know. They're tiny.
He's adorable.
Look at Miss Ross.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
going to grow into that
He
head,
really
honey. I
is sweet.
promise.
He really
Or
is
we'll get
just
you a nice
sweet.
big wig.
Yeah, exactly. But we can
Right?
cover it up
We'll figure
with
it
one
out,
of your
honey.
signature wigs.
Oh,
Is he
good
ever
for
going to
you,
perform in
Aaron.
Central Park?
Maybe.
We'll get him to
He's
perform
close
in
enough
Central
right
Check the
now.
weather first. Just
Yeah.
learn from history.
Yeah.
Check
Yeah,
the
that's
weather
right.
Fair
first.
point.
That's right.
How does he feel
I'll
about
bring him in on a
helicopters?
helicopter.
Oh,
Be
good
great.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing soothes the traumatized dog
Yeah.
like a helicopter.
Well, it's free. It's freeing, I should say. You know.
Yeah.
So it'd be good.
This is the closest I've been to wanting to adopt a dog in a
Oh,
really
by the
long
way,
time. This was a
I
lot
was
of fun.
telling this story
We have
about...
all-day
I
lectures
still don't
on
want
the
to. Yeah,
uselessness of Brindle.
I don't recall what... We got on a topic the other day at Stacy's with a group of people talking about halftime shows at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I made a reference to, well, do y'all remember when Diana Ross was in the helicopter?
even born.
And they were like, huh?
Oh,
They had no
God.
idea, ever. And like, you're bad gays. Like, how
That
do you not
that
know?
is a bad game.
No,
Doesn't matter if they were
they're
born
22
or not.
years old.
Yeah, but
No.
Diana Ross is not part of...
Ricardo...
He's in
and-
his 30s. Diana Ross isn't part
And
of his gay
David,
life.
David that sat here with us, they didn't know who the... And David's black, so I
You
would
need to
assume
look
he would have
those up.
known.
Well,
No, but,
you
no, but
just-
Diana Ross isn't part of their world. That's a dated. She didn't come back. She hasn't had a comeback. She hasn't done anything. It's been decades. It's been a long, long time.
What was it, 96?
Yeah, that's 22 years ago. So they were 10. Like it wasn't.
You said there'd be no math.
I learned nothing from myself.
So I had to find the video on the YouTubes, and they're like,
Wow.
"Oh my god!" And I'm like, and it was right here.
Yeah.
Then I told the story about Davina being in her limousine, being taken all over the city, and everybody thought it was really her. Like, all these things, and they're like, we knew nothing about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite. I worked at the Point at South Mountain at the restaurant, the sports club, overlooking, looking straight north at
Yep.
Tempe. And when they did the flyover with the missing man formation for because the son of one of the people from the what was the first one? The Challenger.
Challenger's
His
the one
son-
that exploded.
Yeah, his son was one of the pilots, and they did the missing man formation in honor of his father, who I think was the pilot of the Challenger. And we were all watching it on TV, like, oh, and the guy's like,
It's
Look
right
out
there.
your window.
You
Right.
could, it's behind you in real life, and it's one of those rare times where I've never had that happen before. Where what's happening on TV is also in the sky above me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that was crazy. Check your stereotypes. It's true, but we used to march together better than we do now.
Yeah, I mean, it was all
thanks,
Diana
Mama Di.
Ross, Bette Midler, Barbara Streisand, and
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We let
Celine Dion.
The fancier ones let Liza in once in a while.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
Oh my heavens! So where do you? What have you been
Well,
doing?
I guess we'll go with two things. The first one was at an unidentified location with unidentified people. Someone behind me fell over
Oh no,
Oh, I
like,
know. I've heard the story. Part of it.
I haven't
from-
heard it.
from a perch, kind
Brand
of. We'll
new.
say,
Perhaps a stool.
perhaps
A bar
Okay.
stool.
and
I don't want to get too specific.
just went kerplunk.
Oops.
Kerplooey?
I've seen it happen.
And I thought just the chair fell over because they had separated sometime during the descent.
Oh sure.
And then I realized, oh, look, there's a human on the floor, too. And somebody, screams out, there's blood. And then a whole kerfuffle started about
Appreciate
What's it
standing
do about
people
it?
up or yelling out, he's unconscious. And I'm like, He's dead.
Oh my God.
Like, I know I've only been looking at this scene
Oh.
for about 5 seconds.
What?
But that human might be dead. They were out. Like, out, cold, and God is my witness, did not take a breath for a good 5 seconds.
Well, he was
Possibly
stunned from the
longer.
sudden stop at the floor.
Yeah. So then they're like, oh my God, there's blood. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're fucked. So they do everything wrong. They stand this person up,
Oh,
and you should just roll them
God.
over because you don't know what happened to his
Yeah.
neck or his
Right.
head. They're like standing him up. Somebody yelled, call 911, and I don't think anybody did because no one from 911 ever showed up. Then
Oh
there
my
was
God.
arguments about the cost of an ambulance, and I'm the POA, and I'm like, well, you're kind of the POS right now. Piece of shit.
I
Yeah.
got the
Mhm.
reference.
Oh my God.
I
it just-
appreciate the whisper.
and
Wait, but
so
I don't
then-
know what a POA is.
Oh, power of attorney.
Oh, thank you.
Which was just a douchey thing. Who gives a shit who you are? Like, your friend just
Right.
went kerplunk on the
Right.
floor and is now bleeding from a head wound.
Oh my
Perhaps
God.
we should call
Clearly-
someone.
Yeah.
How do you not call
Or,
911?
like, leave him on his back on the floor in case he, like, did something to his back or his neck. Now you just
Right.
fucked him up, standing
Yeah.
him up like that. It was awful. And then this guy rushes in and he's interacting with, I'm the POA, and, like, trying to, like, get him to, like, sit him down, find him someplace. But all the chairs were high. There are no low chairs in this particular place.
Right.
So there was nowhere to like safely like sit him where you could trust his balance, where like you could sit him back in a chair. So it was just getting
On the
kinda
floor
wobbly.
against the wall, dum
Then
dums.
somebody's got like towels against the blood, and I was like,
Is that a
this
new
just
group?
Nonsense. Yes, they're
Tow-
delightful.
Cards Against Humanity and Towels Against the Blood.
Yeah, Panic at the Disco. They tour together.
Writing this down.
Wow.
It's Bloody Palooza. So it.
Gosh.
I think it's an all-female Gregorian chanting group.
when,
Towels Against the
when
Blood.
done correctly. So
Coming out with a new album.
So then they're like fighting over whether they're gonna wait for 911 or just get him up and walk him to the car with the thing pressed to the back of his head.
They give him
and
his
then-
keys and send
then
him
it
home.
turned
Yeah,
into
right?
a bigger fight
Are you good to drive?
with like a blood trail.
Wow.
I mean, this guy really did like, a head wound of a drinker. I mean, he
Right.
really did bleed.
Oh,
there
sure.
was. There,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we weren't at like shining levels or anything.
I had
like
one of those
that.
not too long ago at the old Cobalt
Is
location.
this a
I was like,
feel-good
oh,
story at
this
the end or no?
bullshit.
Oh yeah, it does. end
Okay,
funny.
good. 'cause I'm-
Clearly not
So-
dead.
Can we turn a corner here?
So
You gotta wait for the twist, Clayton. You just gotta hang on for the ride.
So
wait for the
the
twist.
argument goes on, but between the Good
Wow.
Samaritan and the POA, and they're going at it about what to do. And then finally, because I'm like, all right, we should do a couple of it. Like, I'm like, ask him if he knows where he is, ask him the date, and then it turns out he spoke Spanish. So I was like, then I started like in
Carne
Spanish, like,
asada,
yeah. Like, did you go
guacamole.
anywhere? Are you having nausea? Because I wasn't getting it that anybody else spoke Spanish but this guy. So I did
Right.
like trying to do something, but they kept fighting. So the guy's like really dazed now because now there's a fight over
Right.
him and like me yelling absurdities in Spanish.
Chimichanga Supreme.
yeah. ¿Sabes cómo hacer?
Supremo.
So,
Chalupa.
and exactly what I said is gonna.
Gordita.
Those that speak Spanish will be
my
offended by what I just said.
I know.
So, so then they leave. They go about their merry way. There's bleach poured on the blood. People are cleaning. Everyone's talking. And then the Good Samaritan goes, I was just trying to follow my training as a dietitian.
Oh. Would you like some celery, sir?
I don't know how many calories you lost in that blood, but I'm suggesting a cookie.
Would you like a pretzel covered in yogurt?
Oh,
Exactly.
good.
To make up for your blood loss, I'm going to suggest a Bloody Mary. Oh my God. And it took every face muscle I had to just keep it at a, well, good for you. See, I can't
Wow.
even repeat
You
the
can't.
story.
No, you just can't. There's a lot of sarcasm in that facial expression.
It really was. And it must have been brutal, 2 vodka sodas in.
My goodness.
Like, the face I made must have just been one of, like,
Was this in an introductory excursion that this happened?
It may
Was
have
it really?
been.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
And your counterpart wound up finding me last night.
Okay.
Yeah, so I heard part of this story.
Oh.
The guy who has the night off from the show tonight, Mr. Wilkie, did.
Yeah.
He ran into me and then ran into me again.
Oh.
Well,
Oh,
he
you didn't move the first
Well, he
time?
no. He showed up at
You're gonna
Cobalt.
stand in
you
front
step
of
to the left?
He showed up at Cobalt and didn't know I
good.
was there. And then I saw him as we were leaving, and we left him at the Cobalt because, well, that's where he was.
Well, goodbye. Sure.
Right. So then we took off and went elsewhere, and
He went elsewhere too.
He went elsewhere by running through the parking lot and looking for license plates that he knew. and mine was one of them.
Oh, okay.
And then, boom, he walked in, and then he spent the entire rest of the night.
I mean, reform stalkers are still stalkers.
I appreciate a good stalker person.
He spent the rest of the evening talking to
I call it
Ricardo about
persistence.
police procedure and policy, which I'm sure that's all Ricardo wanted to do all
Really?
night.
Yeah, I'll bet that's what he
really
wanted
nice.
to do on his night off.
Yeah.
So then I'll just tell a little personal
an
thing that we're all going to
exciting
go through
evening you
together.
had.
It was. So I had a little thing on my chest, and I went to the doctor today.
Get
and
it
as
off your chest.
Yeah, as expected, they did a cut. They're like, that's cancer. So we're all going to find out about skin cancer in the coming
Okay,
weeks. So
sure.
that's our journey.
All right.
Oh,
Yep. So day 0, who the fuck knows? But
yeah.
On the upside,
out
he's
I
going to
know
get a
nothing
breast
about
lift.
it.
He's going to get a breast lift when they're in there.
Nice.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
a breast reduction. Yeah.
Nice.
No.
Not the saggy part of the tit. No, they're taking the top.
No, right. Yeah.
Well, they have to pull him up.
Oh.
So what? Tell me more.
We
Like
don't.
on-
I
on
honestly
Grease.
don't know. I mean, it was one of those. There was something on my chest that I put off for like too long,
Yeah.
and then I like pulled on my shirt and showed it to a doctor, and that's when it became a thing. Because now someone else has seen it and is
Yep.
like, "Yeah, we know what that is. It's time to go." So had to do a little dancing a couple weeks ago with my medical human that I was fighting with.
Okay.
Everybody thought I was getting a sleep referral, but it was for a dermatologist. And it
Okay.
takes a while to get to a dermatologist in Arizona. It turns out,
Oddly.
lots of sun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
went today as expected. Wonderful people at Advanced Dermatology. So far, first cut wasn't bad.
First cut is usually the deepest.
Yeah, this one not so
Yeah,
much.
good.
But great sense of humor, like really kind of funny about the whole thing. The office was like great and efficient, and it was,
Okay.
you know, showed him the thing on my chest. That was like, oh, the medical assistant's like, we're taking a picture of that. Then I showed him something on my leg, and he was like, okay. And I'm like, okay, that didn't deserve that doesn't get photographed.
Yeah.
And then the doctor came in. I showed him. He's like, well, take your shirt off. We've got some stuff to do. That's cancer. And I was like, okay. And
How
like,
did
what?
they just know?
Oh, I mean, it's obvious.
No. I don't mean to.
It's like a Rorschach test.
No.
It's-
There's, I
Yeah.
mean, if you saw it, there's nothing else that could be. Like that's not a wound
Okay,
or anything like
okay.
that.
Could it be your twin?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
There you
The
go.
growth of the
It
third
just
nipple
has been
finally.
holding on.
So the funny thing was, I had
was
him
my
look at the
twin.
back of my leg, and he's like, "Well, your face looks kind of young, but by your leg, I know how old you are. That's just shit you get on your skin when you're older." And I'm like, "Oh!" But it was kind of funny.
Oh, that is pretty
I
funny.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it was kind of
You know,
funny.
that's funny because just in the past, I don't know, 6-8 months, I've just started to develop little spots on my arm, my hand. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
grandma had those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandma had those. I'm like, yeah, it's part of being almost 50, at least for me.
I'm
Deliver
gonna write this
spots.
down. Hang
sure.
out with younger people.
It seems
You know,
fair.
if it all goes as according to plan, you'll wind up being the only
Yeah,
one
but
left on this show.
Here's the problem, Kat. We're trying to do the same thing with you, and look at it.
yeah, we're trying to bring the curve down.
Yeah.
That's why we had to get rid of Katie because she had too many ailments.
that,
Sorry, I don't care
What
for younger
thing.
people.
Man, tuck it.
We don't either.
They're pissing me
Oh,
off. I
yeah,
have a
we
list
can't
of
forget
those
that
today.
place. So it was very funny, and it was quick and efficient. And he's like, "Are you pretty much caught up on what's going to happen?" I'm like, "Well, I watched your medical assistant set the table." But
Yeah.
the medical assistant, because he's like, "Oh, we're shaving him," and he was like, "Okay." And I was like, "I don't know what's going to happen. I'm about to be shaved." But I mean, he like dipped some things of Vaseline, threw it on the table with this thing and a couple needles, and drew up some meds, threw it on the table next to me. And the guy goes, "Got an idea?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I could put it together from clues.
Yeah.
I think it'll be easier if you lay back." He's like, "It's not dangerous. I don't do anything dangerous." Well, not since that first time. Yeah, or not
love
since
that.
that
Not since the
one time.
incident.
I love
You,
it.
I assume you went into this, all them fully knowing you're a nerd. Like you know.
Oh no. I mean, it just I don't know if the way that I like showed it to them that they're like, oh, okay, somebody else has seen this too and told you what you're looking at. Like,
Oh,
but you know,
okay.
Well, I know, but we've had the
So it was
discussion
a
about how,
surprise.
like your medical
Oh,
human,
no.
your medical
okay.
human, just
but
like,
I know nothing about skin, like nothing whatsoever about skin
right,
cancer.
but they're not explaining this to a complete novice. You understand how some of this medical stuff works.
Oh yeah, but I think they just kind of I don't know. I felt so comfortable with it. Like I don't.
Okay.
I mean, it was on the paperwork, but I don't know how that would come across.
Because you were going off last week about the medical human, you're like, I know, I
And
worked
that's
with
why I
you.
appreciate, like there was no dumbing this down. This
Okay.
was just like that's cancer. We're gonna cut.
Yeah.
You're coming back. You know, we'll call you in a week.
and the cut was just for the biopsy, right? At this
Yeah,
point.
he really did.
Yeah.
He like I got a couple shots of Novocaine
A local?
in my chest.
Yeah.
They shaved it. Like I didn't get to see it because
You can't, right?
I was laying, can't see my tits from there. And he was like, "We got a really good specimen. Takes about a week." He's like, "I'm not going to say anything about it. I don't want you driving yourself crazy googling it." So,
Yeah, but okay, so that's what I'm getting at. If they've just taken the biopsy, how do they know it's cancer?
well, like
Or-
Mela, you know, be
They
honestly,
see it every day, I'm guessing, and by the look of
Okay.
it, they're like, yeah, we've seen this before.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't take me long to compare images on the internet and hit a bingo like 5 times. So,
Fair point.
and really, just being a lazy guy, that I was like, if no one else, if I don't tell anybody else about it, it's not a thing. So the minute I told my friend, I'm like, well, now it's a thing. Now,
Now it exists.
Now more than one person
now
knows.
a doctor
Right.
that likes me is like, you got vaccine yet? Yeah. So that's really what had to happen was I just had to like,
Say something.
Yeah.
You know,
if you see something, say something.
I don't think this needs to become a medical show based on what is wrong with all of us.
Yeah.
But
What's the matter with all of us?
I'm at that point where I'm like, as many years as I tanned, and I've always been in the sun my entire life, regardless, even as a kid.
Yeah.
I think I probably should go and have somebody look all over and figure out. Plus, I still have the issue with the occasional, and it's self-diagnosed of eczema, psoriasis, whatever it is, and it comes and goes. Like it might pop up on my arm, and it might be there for 4 or 5 weeks, and it goes away. And then it might show up on my leg, but nothing really huge has happened. But I think at this point in time, it's the maintenance is coming.
Sure.
Got to start checking those. And again, when I saw these little spots come up on the arm, I'm like, well, what if I should start? I'm not going to be shaving my arms again. And then you feel like there's a bump here and a bump there, and I'm like, okay, were those scars when I hurt myself when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Telling you.
Or no, all
So,
these things.
Yeah, we'll just stay up to date.
Be sure to stay tuned, you all, as to all of our
please
medical
do.
journeys.
And next week, a little
In
bit
case you're
late.
wondering, to the best of my knowledge, pretty healthy, a little
Yeah.
too fat, still no gray
There
hair.
we go.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, and the fun part was, and one of the things that
Wish I could
alleviated
say
a little
no
bit of
gray
worry was I
hair.
got all my labs done last week and got the results on Friday, and like, picture of health, like like absolutely perfect.
Oh,
not
good.
not one number even high normal. Everything was like straight down the middle numbers of like, wow, that's kind of impressive.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
It is. It's
all
a little.
that
It's
clean
past time
living.
for me to
I've
have
got
mine
the
done.
cholesterol of just a white person. You know what I mean?
Right. Just saying. Fair point. I like
Well,
it.
it's your nuts and your wine.
I swear it's the Triscuits. I will swear on my dying day,
The Triscuits
Those
absorb it
Nabisco
out of
they
me.
get the cholesterol and they take it with them.
Take it with them. Get it out.
Filter. I can't believe we're still in this segment. Clayton, what have you been up to?
Yeah.
Well, it has been, it's been work and just doing projects and staying out of trouble and dealing with weather. My gosh, the weather. Oh, you know what? The new patio at the Cobalt is a lovely place to observe the weather. Because the
sure is.
storms came through the other night and it was raining. It was sideways. We were watching. You couldn't even see the parking structure across the parking lot. It was so bad. Crazy wind
Yeah,
and
there's
rain.
been quite a few. I was there.
Yeah, and like
Friday
every night,
night.
a storm.
So we've had a lot of weather and rain here, and it's just been nutty.
Our new
rain.
awning holds up beautifully, keeps you
It does.
nice
It's
and dry.
Very
There's no
nice.
minimal leaks.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. Even the magazine racks survived all the storms outdoors.
Crazy.
Wow.
Love it.
I know. Well, because the patio's that deep,
Yeah.
the rain
that's
doesn't. The
cool.
rain doesn't come in.
Wow.
That's very cool.
My mom might get to see your patio. Well, it depends on how Sunday goes, because coming up this Sunday is Dancing for 1 in 10, formerly called Dancing with the Bars. I'm one of the judges this year, and my mom is. Well, part of my deal was
She's your plus one?
They asked me to do it, and I said I'd be happy to do it, but I want a ticket for my mom and a +1 so she can bring whoever she wants. And we weren't sure what you were doing on Sunday. If you wanted to be her +1, I don't know what you've got going to go watch the dancers.
time is it at?
4 or 5 in the afternoon,
I can make that. I think.
something like that. But I have to
Doors
go.
open earlier than that. I'm pretty sure.
They do. I have
Don't
to.
tell him that.
I
Well,
have
because the bar staff has to be there at noon. I'm pretty sure doors open at 1. So I'll bet
maybe
the
it
show
does.
starts about 2.
Maybe it's 2 or 3. Maybe I'm wrong. But I have to be there at first early in the morning because I have to watch the rehearsals because they make us watch the rehearsals they run through. We watch them from on stage, from the behind, so we can see how it looks from the back. And then obviously when they're doing the performance, we're on the front side, so we get to see both.
Oh, cool.
So I have to go out there earlier on Sunday morning to do that. But then there'll be a break in between, and that's when I was going to run up and grab Mom. And then I was thinking if you cared to go,
I'm out. That'd be fun.
I could, because you two
Well-
can sit in the audience and drink wine and talk about whatever, and I'll do my duty.
And if you're looking for an after party hostess, guess who's working Sunday night?
Perfection,
this
because
bitch right here.
Mom wants to see the new bar.
Oh, cool.
So that would work out perfectly because it's right across town.
I'm
Pardon
just
me, as
telling
I'm
you,
heading-
dreams are coming true.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, all my dreams. are
that could
coming
work
true.
lovely. Are you so you said the bar staff actually has to be out there. So who? Somebody from Cobalt?
So I was supposed to be part of the bar staff out at Dancing for 1 in 10, and then I had some flaky people that are on my shit list. So now I'm working Sunday night.
That's another list you got going. Look
That's
at that.
that list is getting longer by
feel
the
it.
day. Because I just decided
People who have or are about to experience the Wrath of Cat.
I just kind of had
Starring
to decide
Ricardo
for my
Montalban.
own sanity between Dancing for 1 and 10, or doing both. And I've decided that I cannot close Saturday, do Dancing for 1 and 10, close Sunday,
Right,
and then come
no.
open on Monday.
Yeah.
That feels too much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
even though I am the picture of health.
Doesn't
It's gonna
matter.
give me gray hair.
Yeah.
That's right.
Pissing me off.
It's
Youth
co-
and
it's
virility.
coming anyway.
Youth and virility.
That gray hair's coming.
Yeah. So anyway, I will be your happy hostess Sunday night.
Oh, that'd be lovely. So that's a perfect thing. So Al will be my mom's +1. I'll pick her up, and then after the event is over, we'll swing through the Cobalt and see you.
Yeah, it'd be
that works
lovely.
out perfectly.
I like to be referred to as Ann Guest.
and Guest.
Yes.
It's a lovely drag name too. And Guest.
And
And Guest.
Yeah.
Not
And Guest.
+1. Because again, no math.
No.
So totally be no math.
is that short for Valerie Ann?
Yeah, Valerie Ann. Valerie Ann Guest.
It's her middle name.
If I were,
Writing this
assassins
down.
always have 3 names. I'd be
That's right.
Valerie Ann Guest. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's right. Mhm.
When I shot Trump.
Oh, whoa. All right.
In a hypothetical thing where I become an assassin.
Right, right.
Right.
Hi, Meow Cow.
Hello, Meow.
See, look, it's a Minnesota thing.
Oh, to arrive late? Sure.
Yeah, see? Thanks, Meow.
Um,
I appreciate that.
Do we need to bother with the 2 things segment? Anybody got 2 things, or are we going to move on to
It's
the...
obsession, this part.
Oh my God, you're
We,
right.
we
it was
all did
obsession.
2 things,
Yeah.
as it turns
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
We already had 2 things.
Oh, yeah, I guess we kind of already did do that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think we did like 8 things.
We did a bunch of things.
I don't care what you do. We can
Many,
obsession.
many
We can
things.
go on. I don't
Many
care.
things.
I don't know if we need to. We could do the
just do the
Let's
headlines.
do the headlines
Okay.
and move on if we can do that. Let me get to the right screen and the right thing.
Oh crap! I need headlines.
I know, me too.
Get
I'm
there.
like, hold on.
Well-
I've been busy doing other things.
Well, like what?
Her
Well,
hair.
I was
Yeah,
sending.
her
I was doing my
hair, right, she
hair.
Like,
was-
like that's the
I
next
was-
segment
I
coming
mean,
up. What do
Just
you
doing
have
my
to-
hair.
Right, there's that.
In the latest news, I did my hair.
Well, let's do this. Our headline segment. These are things that we're going to be talking about at the beginning of next hour. Let me get my headlines up here.
Shit.
Police investigate a hippo spanking.
Tonight in our cooking segment.
And then that happened.
Transgender nominee.
Fatberg on live stream display.
Nope, still in our cooking segment.
Again and again.
She faked it.
She sure did.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that.
And it was my headline.
Oh. And then
Clayton probably has something too.
no,
Ta-da!
unicorn caught in the weeds.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh, I didn't have time to build the break like I normally do, so I have to. We're gonna stall and talk, and I'm gonna do something else.
That's weird.
You're
We've
really good at
never
How does
done
this
stalling.
that.
talking thing go?
We've never done
Well, I
that.
usually build the
don't
break
know.
while you 2 are doing the 2
Aren't there
things.
folks that are in the YouTube
It's called obsession.
and our chat room?
Or whatever
Aren't you
it's
guys
called.
excited about how good we are at this?
We're going to get this one to see an Alzheimer's
Real,
specialist.
real tight show, guys.
Super
real,
tight.
Real
This
tight.
is awesome.
I don't know why you keep saying
I
real
wonder-
tight show. It's never been
I
a
wonder
tight
what,
show.
It's
I
prime
wonder
time.
what the villainess is doing.
Laughing,
Has
saying,
the night off.
laying
Yeah.
on his couch,
See how that
laughing at
is.
Doug
us.
Wilkie has the night off.
No, that's
I'm
right.
Kat Carlson.
Okay, Carlson. In the
And I'm
news.
Marnie Ryan. Thank you for joining us today.
Are we just gonna go like directly into the
No,
next
we're
one?
not. We're gonna
Okay.
do this.
I
We'll
left my
figure it out.
signature wig at home. I don't know
My
what
God.
to do.
Here we go.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Alrighty, Roo, all you listeners, local and far away, we are back. It's hour 2, the Q Talk America Radio Network. I am Clayton McKee, alongside Ket Carlson, Marty Ryer, Al Perkins. Doug Wilkie has the night off. Oh, our first hour, we talked about a lot of stuff, everything from Star Trek fuel sources to dog adoption, also Diana Ross and a drinking problem. So
Yeah.
there were a lot of things covered in the first
And
hour.
those were 2 different stories.
Yeah,
right?
oddly, 2 different stories. Anywho, we are kicking off hour 2. It's the way we do each and every week. We tease the headlines at the end of hour 1, and we do them in the beginning of or all of hour 2. Coming up later also, Al Perkins and entertainment for hour 3, but here we go with the news and headlines. Police are investigating after a video shows a man spanking a hippopotamus in the Los Angeles Zoo.
Well, tell me this isn't a fetish story.
Oh, the video shows the man crossing a railing last week and sneaking up on 2 hippos, Rosie and Mara. He smacks Rosie on the rear, and her mother lifts her head as the man runs off and raises his arms in a gesture of victory. Like, I slapped her ass! I don't know how it worked, but anyway, I'm
But I
guessing.
appreciate that.
Zoo spokesman April Spurlock tells the Los Angeles Times that any unauthorized interaction with the animal is unsafe for both the animal and the person who's doing the interaction. Spurlock says state law prohibits entering zoo enclosures, and the zoo has posted a no trespassing sign on the exhibit for its first time because it was never needed before. Police told the newspapers that they're investigating the case as trespassing because the hippo did not appear to be injured.
You know, I used to play that game at the cash too. Just whack her and run away.
Nice.
I got her.
And that was just the girlfriends.
I got her.
That's just who
sometimes-
she was dating.
How else can I show her I love her?
Well,
Right.
based on what I remember, some of the customers at the cash being
Hey, now.
slow moving
Careful.
targets.
Gently. Gently.
Slow moving targets.
Gently.
Gingerly.
Better watch yourself there, son.
I'm going to put caution tape around the rest of that sentence.
Speaking of gingerly,
Yeah.
what is the secret to guzzling down 29 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes?
Oh.
Oh, I don't know how they do that. Ugh.
Step, I'm going to tell you how they do
Oh,
it.
good.
That's
It's an informative.
premise of the-
It's an informative story.
I'm going to sit back and wait.
I'll be with you.
as
Go ahead,
part of
Scott.
our cooking segment.
I'm going to leave the microphone. Just decide. I'm still going to
Step 1.
do that.
Valerie Ann, can I have a beer while you're over there?
Put her to work.
I wasn't ready for that. I'm sorry.
I appreciate it.
Valerie Ann.
Step 1. Remove the wieners from the buns.
Oh, well, you got to get rid of the
Step
wiener.
2. Dunk the buns in your favorite sugary drink.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Black.
oh.
Was that a racial slur, ladies and gentlemen?
Step 3.
Yeah,
Color of the
whatever,
can.
Yeah.
I was requesting black. It's not a slur.
Yeah.
It's a
Well, it's just,
preference.
it was
Yes.
just random.
In
for
these,
people
in these
that can't
racially
see.
tense times, I don't want there to be
Racially
any...
charged.
Charge.
Ah,
Charged.
Am I going to be corrected the whole goddamn show?
Seems
maybe.
fair.
Yeah.
Probably just the whole show.
It's Tuesday.
It's
I mean-
Tuesday. It's a good point.
Yeah.
The judge did waver for a brief second.
Yeah.
To recap, for those of you just waiting for step 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
The way to guzzle down 29 and a half hot dogs
And a half.
in 10 minutes
Correct,
is to step 1, remove the wieners from the buns.
Sugary
Yep,
drink
yep.
is part
Step
2.
2, dunk the buns in your favorite sugary drink.
Yep.
Step 3, put a couple of dogs in your mouth and swallow them down with your drenched buns. Rinse and repeat.
Okay. It's
These are
still,
just a few steps of the scientific process that Matt Hungry Hazard
Oh boy.
took to win Nathan's famous hot dog eating regional contest at the Iowa State Fair on Saturday.
So he ate 3 hot dogs, then 3 buns?
I think kind of all at the same time, because once you dunk those buns in any kind of liquid, it becomes kind of just this slurry, like
Right.
just kind of a
He's
snot
never gonna
consistency.
poop again.
Oh,
Like,
it's awful.
ever.
I don't know how these people do it. But Matt Hungry Hazard, it's from Normal, Illinois.
Sodium levels
Sure.
now at
Sure.
162.
Is that
high.
good or bad? Okay,
high.
it's bad.
But
Okay.
the buff masticating machine is anything but
Oh,
normal when it
yuck.
comes to his ability to inhale large quantities of food. He traveled to the Iowa State Fair to compete in the regional competition and earned a spot at the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest at Coney Island in 2019. He's going to the finals.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
But chowing on hot dogs isn't just a pastime for Hazard.
Mama, get the bags. We're going to Iowa. We're
It's
going
an
to win
art.
a trip to
I'm
New
gonna-
Jersey.
I'm gonna win me a trip.
I'm going to
Wait.
see the ocean.
That's
I didn't know this
I'm
was
gonna
a
get some of
thing.
them Lee press on now.
I didn't know this was a thing, but our friend Hungry Howie Hazard over here
Yes.
He's
is
buff.
is a buff masticator. He's one of the top 25 professional eaters in the nation.
Professional eaters.
He's a professional
I'm
eater.
also going to guess
No.
he's single.
I'm guessing. That does-
I have been clinging
at
to my
press time,
amateur
no wife was
status.
listed.
for
Why?
a long time. What the fuck?
I know.
Right. I'm
Jesus
I'm
Christ. I
super
would've
happy
turned-
at amateur status.
I would have turned pro years ago if I would have known there was a lucrative living.
Well, he
high
first
sodiums
got
and no
into
bowel
competitive
movements.
eating during, surprise, his first visit to the Iowa State Fair. So it's a reunion tour.
Oh,
Yeah.
I play all the hits. That's all I want to hear.
In a direct quote, he says, "I'm a competitive guy. I love food. I had a knack for eating large quantities, and it kind of just snowballed from there.
Sure.
And I bet his weight did too.
Since then, he's shown off his eating abilities on his YouTube channel, ranging in
No.
talents like eating a whole Costco pizza to devouring 25 ice cream sandwiches at the same time.
No, I have
Okay, now
no,
I've been
that's an
on
ice
board.
cream headache, and your teeth are gonna hurt.
25 ice cream sandwiches at 110 degrees is just a good solid plan.
That's
no.
called Wednesday.
I have a question about the pizza.
Yeah.
Is there a time limit on this? And let's just start with that. How long did it take him to eat the pizza?
Having done no investigative journalism, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I thought maybe if it's
I
over
know,
the
I
course of an evening.
Yeah, I mean,
That's fine.
2 slices for breakfast, 2 slices to lunch, the rest of the pie for dinner.
Right. Just a sensible.
Well, usually in an eating contest, there is a bit of a time limit.
No, I think when you're sitting at home with a Costco, the competition's over. You lost.
In many ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the things that people do. I love it. It goes on for a little play-by-play of the most recent competition. It says early on he dominated the pack as he dunked hot dog buns into cherry Kool-Aid and then later raspberry
God.
lemonade to add some taste varieties.
Come on.
Sweet and sour hot
He
dogs.
shimmied as he swallowed the hot dogs,
Oh,
mashing the buns with his hands, which slowly started to resemble baby food.
oh.
Okay.
Though
Yeah,
most of the people around him started to look worn out by the 7-minute mark, Hazard is still shaking up his body.
God, I can't even. Ugh.
No.
He says, I listen to music and I wiggle around a lot so people think I'm up there dancing.
Meanwhile, he's just making room. I guess it's what he's doing.
Remember the noise that you thought the Starship Enterprise made? That's what's going on.
Gas.
In the end, he defeated his personal record and ate nearly 30 hot dogs. You remember, 29 and one half.
Nearly 30. Nearly 30.
Now,
Nearly.
Al
You had a
Perkins,
mathematician there.
Al Perkins will certainly know that really is about 3 hot dogs a minute. I know you've already done that math.
Oh, yeah, of course I had as well. That's disgusting. I can't.
I actually didn't realize that they ate the
can't.
buns too. I thought it was literally
Oh no, you gotta
just
eat the whole
fat.
thing.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that's,
realize that.
and you always see them in the hot dog eating contest because
I never
watch a
watched.
lot
I've
of
never
them.
watched.
you know sometimes when you're hiding in a bar and El Ocho's on the TV, you just watch it.
Hello, show.
Oh my god. Okay, 2 things. First off, El Ocho had the best show. It was called like Long
Duck Dog?
Drive, Long Something Drive, and it was just assholes. Like trying to hit a golf ball as far as they could in
they
one
can.
direction. There was like no style or grace. It looked like it was straight
Very
out of
Happy
Flintstones.
Gilmore,
It looked like
right.
Bam Bam just going at something.
Okay.
And some of them were like these big, stocky, like, did steroids. You know what I mean? Like way too
bodybuilders.
big. Then they had the ones that were like slender and then they had the straight up fat people. But it was just
Wow, he says with this
Progression.
hysterical.
Oh.
Because you don't need any skill to do it, and I think there's a chiropractor just waiting to make a fortune as each one of them
Wrenches
took
their
another
back.
asshole swing. But they were kind of like running up to it and hitting it. We sat at breakfast on Sunday morning and watched us on the Golf Channel.
I'm telling you, when you've got a
Laughed
cocktail in your
ourselves
hand and El Ocho's on the
stupid.
TV, you're gonna watch any of it.
You are
Doesn't
in.
matter.
If it's almost
I'm
a sport,
invested.
It's
It's
on
on
El
El
Ocho. Can't remember what the second thing was, but that was a good one.
Yeah, I liked it.
Marnie, back to you.
Speaking of white privilege.
Yep. There was not one person of color
Je
anywhere to
prove.
be
Je
seen
prove.
in that asshole
There were plenty of
sport.
Oakley sunglasses.
Right.
And no people of color.
No people of color. So sometimes
I like Oakley sunglasses. as a
Sometimes.
measure of
Did you say that we
douchery.
have someone from South Carolina or was it North Carolina?
Same.
North?
North Carolina. My apologies.
They're very close together.
This is a story. Well,
They
they're
touch sometimes.
And
They
one guy
do.
who says he's
Yep.
just this side of the chalk outline on the street. I thought that was funny.
fantastic. Well, I'm going to go with South Carolina.
Okay.
So, similar side of the, country.
Right.
Yeah.
They touch.
South Carolina woman, because sometimes you're just too pretty to go to jail.
Yeah.
A South Carolina woman
Happened to
claims.
me.
Looking right at her.
Yeah, right?
Too
it's
pretty.
all about Val. South Carolina woman claims to be too pretty.
Valerie Ann, you got a pretty
for
mouth.
jail.
That's what they said.
So, Lauren Elizabeth Cutshaw begged for mercy. Have mercy! After being placed under arrest, South Carolina recently. I'm a pretty girl, she told police in Bluffton. Bluffton.
Yeah.
She's pretty in Bluffton. Please
She's a
don't,
Bluffton 8.
please don't make me go in there. I don't know why I'm giving her that kind of
She's
an
a Manhattan
accent,
too,
so
but she's
forgive
a
me.
Bluffton 8.
Forgive me about that.
Exactly. You gotta know your territory.
I just kind of want to give her an accent because she's a kind of,
It fits.
she seems like it, but I don't want to go too far.
We enjoy
So-
accents. Carry on.
So Cutshaw, she's 32 years old. She's a real estate agent.
Kutcha.
Cutshaw,
That's her name?
that's her name.
Okay.
Because you come one step closer, I'm gonna
Elizabeth.
cut you.
Catch me. I want to be dirty.
She was allegedly pulled over for speeding through a stop sign and later arrested when cops
Wait,
say she
wait,
failed.
wait,
She wasn't
that's
allegedly.
Distinct crime.
Right.
Yes.
She ran the stop sign and was speeding.
And
You can't
There's
just make it one
nothing-
violation.
and later was arrested
you're
when
fleeing
cops
from
say she
cops at a
failed
McDonald's
a
drive-thru.
field sobriety test.
Oh, whoops.
She had a lot of
Oh.
things going on.
Was she at a McDonald's at some point in this
Maybe.
story?
Squealing her tires in that tricky corner.
Video shows her sobbing as she was placed in the back of a police cruiser, rattling off a list of reasons she should not be placed behind bars. I graduated from a really good university.
Oh, good for her.
I was almost valedictorian.
Almost.
Yeah,
Almost.
me.
Oh.
Quite frankly, so was I. There were 300 and some people ahead of me, but I'm just saying,
Yeah, just shy.
almost.
There was 369 tied for second. Not
I'm
my
saying,
fault.
that's
Not
right,
my fault.
not my fault. I graduated with a 3.8 in my high school and got a scholarship to my college. I was an all-American cheerleader. Yeah,
Again, a Bluffton 8.
I didn't miss a beat my whole life. My whole life, I didn't miss a beat, she said.
A Bluffton cheerleader. He's a Manhattan farmer. That was just for me.
I appreciate it because I just love when you laugh. But I have no idea what you said.
I'm both offended and super amused by
A
this whole
Bluffton
thing.
cheerleader as a Manhattan farmer.
Very nice.
It just goes along with the 8-2
I like it.
game. I mean, it's fun.
It's good.
Good times, good
Cutshaw's
times.
eyes were bloodshot and glassy,
Gotcha.
and her car reeked of alcohol, according to the police report. So she was given this field sobriety test and allegedly told the officers, that she had those 2 glasses of wine
Oh,
to
of course,
celebrate
everyone.
her
Her
birthday.
3.8?
That's right.
Where they never
yeah.
learned about Febreze.
No, the 3.8 was her GPA.
I know.
I'm just saying. I just didn't want you to get,
Yeah,
confused, because that would have been like way better than Diana.
It's also her New Jersey rating.
Slightly
So,
higher.
so what she tells them after that is, when she's been put in the back of this car, well, you ruined my whole career.
Oh.
This
I've
story
never
sounds oddly
been.
familiar
Yeah.
now.
It was not me. I'm not changing the names.
Did it take place in Nantucket?
God damn. It was Katie Jew.
We've heard this story already today.
Yeah, it was KJ.
Don't
God
they?
bless her.
You can't hide Katie June
No,
for me.
that's right. That's true. Please, I've never been arrested. I've never been to jail. Please, I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know what it's like. I'm a pretty girl. Please don't make me go in there. Police said the breathalyzer test showed that she had a BAC of 0.18.
Amateur.
I say so.
Can't even
A
do the
person
nightly
is
news
like
at
half of a
0.18.
Diana
A
Ross.
person is
Exactly.
considered impaired if their blood alcohol is the
Go
0.08,
searching for a
according to
Blockbuster
South
at 0.18.
Carolina. The cops also found, it gets better though, marijuana and rolling papers in her car. She admitted that she, quote, may
Balance.
have, unquote, smoked earlier. Maybe.
Balance.
Yeah.
She faces
Uppers,
a
downers.
slew of charges,
I
including
really thought you were
driving
gonna
under
say
the
a saloon of
influence.
charges.
disregarding a stop sign, speeding, simple possession
Again.
of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
How polite they are, disregarding.
Disregard. In,
Stoptional.
Yeah.
no, stop.
It's
Very nice.
stoptional.
I like that.
I didn't run the stop sign. I just disregarded it.
I disregarded it.
I said no, thank you.
No,
I thought that
I
was more of a
said-
suggestion.
I
Yeah.
said no, sir.
Or
An
ma'am.
officer.
You won't tell me what to do.
She just so that you know, with the the
credit union.
white women's problems at the police station. She called herself a very clean, thoroughbred white girl, according to the police report.
It's Betsy DeVos.
And an officer then
Why the
asked
long
her
face?
what that had to do with anything. Wait,
Why the long face? 1, 2,
Anyway.
3.
she says, "Well, you're a cop. You should know what that means." And that's when they proved she was drunk. She was booked into the Buford. I'm kidding.
That's
Or,
when.
that's when the Buford County Detention
Oh
Center.
my
And
God!
later
of
was
course it's
released.
Buford County.
According to court records, Kutcha lost her job at the real estate agency for which she worked. Due to something else, we're not sure. Because she maybe disregarded some things. We don't know.
Well, she may have been on the way to show a house. That's the unfortunate part of the story. She missed an appointment, and that's where
may
she
have
got
been.
fired.
That's right.
Oh, now that
We
poor
think-
family is still homeless.
We think that
Oh.
yeah, bullshit this is.
They're still waiting
Yeah.
outside.
But she
waiting
is a very
outside.
clean,
Looks so nice.
thoroughbred
Look, is that a
white girl.
fireplace?
If only that woman would
So
come and
I
open
wonder
us
if
the door.
anyone knows what I'm going to do right now. I'm looking her up on the Facebook.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because
Yo.
I haven't yet.
Hello, Annette.
I don't
Hi,
know.
Aunt.
Well, hi.
But she's really not that pretty either.
I like an ant. Hello, people.
Howdy, people.
I like that.
Bluffton 8.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Loved it.
Anyway, so quite frankly, she's something, that one. You know,
Speaking of something,
Yeah,
Pretty.
here's something.
something. Working it
tight
out.
right.
show, real tight.
So in good news, I think
Oh.
Vermont Democrat.
We have a new segment called Good News.
Perhaps.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
Vermont Democrat will be the first
Oh.
transgender major party nominee for governor, CNN projects. Christine Hellquist will be the first transgender gubernatorial nominee for a major political party. Her victory is a breakthrough of both substantial and symbolic importance for the LGBTQ Americans, in particular the trans community. Really, you think that's the one that's going to be affected? Which
Interesting.
has for so long been shut out of the highest levels of elected office. After outlasting a field of 4 Democratic hopefuls, one of them a teenage boy, she will now take on Republican Governor Phil Scott, who will survive his GOP primary challenge. CNN projects that I'll be looking at a picture of Anderson Cooper for no real reason. And now
And you're not sad about it.
And now I hit another button, so who knows where it will go.
Wow.
CNN is now projecting Anderson Cooper onto my iPad.
So Bernie Sanders.
Write
an
that
inde-
joke down.
Yeah,
Save that one
yeah,
for
that was
later.
a good time. An independent who caucuses with the Democratic Party. He won the Democratic nomination, which he will now decline to run as an independent. Just
Right.
You know what? Go to the dance or don't go to the dance, Bernie. But you know what I mean.
Oh,
Stop
Bernie.
fucking around.
You know,
So for the 4th time, Democrats in Wisconsin believe they have a chance to finally defeat Governor Scott Walker. I thought he died.
Oh,
Instead, to stay back
I don't know how he
left.
has not been put out to a pasture and just shot after all this. I'm surprised with him. Him and the other one from Michigan
Happy
with
Independence
that did all the
Day.
water bullshit.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So, there is one more interesting story, but it turns out
You can't find it.
nope. Somebody lost. You know what? It might be somebody big lost a primary today, that left something open. Like one
Oh.
of, I think it was the governor of Kansas, maybe lost his primary to a Trump supporter, and
Oh.
so they may. Now the thought is they may
I
lose
haven't
the
followed
Kansas
the news
governorship.
today.
I think it was
Yeah.
Kansas,
okay.
but
I'll have to get back on the news.
that
site.
story was way. That story went many places, including Anderson Cooper's crotch.
Oh,
Not a bad place to be. We're not complaining.
Interesting. You know, I've never been.
Yeah.
to Anderson Cooper's crotch.
Happy
Correct.
Independence Day.
It really is a destination trip.
Oh, and it
I
is
don't
August
travel
15th,
much.
where Anant is too.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Oh, it's Independence Day.
Tomorrow.
Oh.
It'll be Independence
You
Day
live there
tomorrow.
Oh, this bitch.
Oh, okay. We're gonna get to your story. Oh, you got a picture.
Breaking news.
Well, you want to just send me the
Breaking
picture?
news. We could
Oh,
we could
I
show it to
I'll-
everybody.
I can send you the link. Cause
What's your nickname, Crystal?
Wow, she's something.
This just popped up on my phone before I read my other story. I just wanted to grab this. Melissa Howard, a Florida State House candidate, told CNN on Tuesday that she has suspended her campaign. Howard came under fire after posting a picture of a diploma from Miami University in Ohio, although the school said that she did not receive her degree from there.
So that's my second story.
Well, then you read the rest of it when you get to you.
We'll finish that story next at
I love
11.
it.
So stand by. We're going to go around the table and Al will finish that story.
But it
Tight show.
if I don't press too hard, I'll find this story. Oh, it disappeared again. So it was in Minnesota that the heavily favored Republican gubernatorial primary he lost.
Good for him.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know.
I have not been on any of the news.
I haven't today. I had other
Uh-uh.
stuff going on.
Well, that
Let me
is
get
very
this.
exciting.
This link from Marnie.
So I am.
Ouch.
And there it is. So Tim
Nice.
Pawlenty was the favored
Yes. and
Minnesota.
Tim, yeah.
I pulled up the.
He was supposed to be the vice presidential nominee. That's who they
That's
thought
right.
Trump was gonna pick.
That's right. Yep.
Like, I mean, he's a big name.
He must
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
hateful man.
Well,
So
No, he lost to an
Oh.
even
So-
more
Yeah.
hateful man.
this
Yeah.
picture, this is the thoroughbred woman that you were
yep,
just
that's
reading the story about?
White thoroughbred.
Left an 8.
Just clean living.
I'm sure she's a sweet girl.
Yeah, she's I do appreciate that she's become the white princess, who is the most hated, becoming the face of white privilege and unbridled self-entitlement. This
But she loves the
bitch-
outdoors.
Yeah. Oh my God. And down further, there's one of her. She's awful. She's
I'm
awful.
sure she is.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Remember back last September, I believe
No.
it was September, we did a story. I told you the story about the Fatberg that they found in the sewers of London.
We did tell that story.
Its aroma was once a mix of rotting meat and a toddler's diapers that had been left out for months, but now, mercifully, the smell has calmed down. Quote, at the moment, it smells like dirty toilets, said Sharon Robinson, who has led the conservation team at the Museum of London for one of its most challenging and unusual displays.
Yep, we're done with snacks.
The museum will, on Friday, unveil a display of the last remaining piece of the monster Fatberg discovered last September in the sewers under London. The sample was part of a sewer-blocking Fatberg that made headlines last year, weighing 130 tons, the equivalent of 11 double-decker buses, and it stretched more than 250 meters in length, which is, for Americans, it's 820 feet, because nobody in America really knows how to do the metric system.
Why bother?
Nah.
The solid
They're
calcified
just gonna
mass
measure it in football fields, anyways.
the solid calcified mass of fats, oils, feces, wet wipes, and sanitary products
Fucking wet wipes.
tells us something about how we live.
Things
By
are
the way,
ruining the world.
regardless of what it says, they are not flushable.
No,
they do
they
not
are not.
dissolve.
No.
Do not flush them.
They do none of the things it claims on the box.
She says spokesperson for the museum, Vicky Sparks. She says here at the museum we are all about reflecting
Is
the
it
real.
Vicky?
Is it? Well, it's VYKI. Is that Vicky over there?
I'll bet it's Vicky.
Okay, well, we'll just go with that. It's European. Vicky Sparks says, here at the museum, we're all about reflecting the real lived experience of Londoners and the part of our season exploring the
Fatberg.
highs and lows of London city life.
So is the Fatberg a high or a low?
She says, I don't think you can get much lower than a
Oh,
Fatberg.
there you go. She answered the question.
Follow-up question.
She said it was like a black mirror reflecting on the dark side of our lives. Ugh, my God. So they've got this piece under glass. That's a piece of the Fatberg on display in a sealed box.
Is it tightly sealed?
I'm gonna guess it is. I'm gonna guess that it is.
Is that frog's ass watertight? Because I'm gonna need in this
That's
situation.
awesome.
I'm gonna need to know.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Now, in an interesting story. Now, none of you are gonna care to hear this, but I'm gonna share it
Is
with
it the
you.
rest of my
gonna
other
listen anyway.
story?
No. I learned something the other day that I never knew before. Now, you as a medical professional, we're just going to throw that around loosely
Who
at this
knows
point.
nothing about
Yeah, I
skin
like
cancer?
it. Yeah.
Wait,
You,
Chris.
you might know about this, but I never knew about this. I had no idea that urine will, almost like a Fatberg, it will like calcify and collect because obviously your body is getting rid of fats and oil, like everything within the urine.
Calcium.
I had no idea that that liquid alone would cause an entire pipe to seal and where nothing would flow through it anymore. I learned this from a plumber the other day. I had no idea.
That's also like the calcium and the minerals in the water. Like that's a little bit of everything.
Well, right, but I had no idea that and this was specific to a urinal because of, and what I also got educated from him was because of all of the low flow of everything now, every urinal, every toilet, and even like some of them are no water urinals and the like.
I just feel like you should stand way back for something that just uses suction. You know what I mean? Because I feel like stuff's just gonna be in the air.
Well,
The no water urinals just use gravity.
right, but still, the
It's
point of this,
basically just a drain in the wall.
but the
Yeah,
point of the
it's a
story
hole,
was
so be in this hole. Yeah.
because there is less water being used in all of this, that the plumbing issues have gone up because stuff doesn't flow away.
Yeah.
And it was just an interesting little
Half of
education that I
lockdown,
got.
it just sits there.
Right, and it creates a fatberg under London or wherever you live of stuff and it was just interesting. I never realized that
minerals. You got to get rid of all of them. You can't keep all those
I
minerals.
just thought it was an interesting thing to learn.
You got to get rid of
and
them.
be greedy. You can't
Yeah.
keep them all.
Like magnesium. It's a mineral.
Need a higher flow.
It's in the dirt.
Speaking of things that aren't very appetizing,
Nice.
a Phoenix woman, local news here in our
Oh.
cooking
Side.
channel.
Oh, good.
A Phoenix woman and her family found a rattlesnake slithering around her backyard and took matters into her own hands to protect her 2 dogs. Marnie, is this story about you?
No,
'Kay.
fuck the dogs at that point.
Yeah.
No.
We're running.
I fucking hate snakes. They scare
How-
the shit out of me.
How's Ernie?
Worse.
Oh,
Have we heard from her today?
She don't like spiders and
no,
snakes.
but I can see
But
her.
she protect them
She
dogs.
would go and protect the dogs. That's true.
Oh, I
No.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I would not.
she said she hit it on the head with a
I might
shovel.
throw Ernie out the door to
I'd be
go
like,
help
yeah.
the snake.
Help the dog. I
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah, I
Late
gotta
for a
go.
meeting.
Sorry.
I saw,
Turns out
I
it's
saw a
supposed to be
snake in
somewhere.
our house one time, and you know what I did? Sharon
What?
was sitting next
Set
to me.
the house on fire?
Well, first,
Yeah.
second we moved, but
Oh.
first I looked over and I said, "Nope, that's you, that's you, that's you," and I climbed up on the couch like this.
Nicely done.
That's you. It's all
I was
you.
like, "Nope, that's your job. Go get it.
that.
Go get it."
Does that go with part of the fact that she's been through childbirth, so you figure she can handle a snake? Is
Nothing
that where
wrong
you?
with
is
She
that where
was
you're-
no, she was the only other adult in the house. If you were
Oh,
sitting next to me, it
okay.
would have been your
Yeah.
job.
Yep.
Oh no, we would have left.
Oh yeah.
hand in hand, side by
Yeah.
each.
We would
We're
have.
outta here.
I would have
We gotta
remote
go.
control started the car. and We'd have
right.
been out of there.
That's right. I agree.
We moved,
Fuck that.
but this woman right here, this
Bitch,
Phoenix
Uber's
woman,
on the way. We're out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go.
she said she hit the snake on the head, and afterward, her dad, wise man that he is, suggested keeping the skin as a souvenir and eating the meat. These
no.
fucking people.
They say it tastes like chicken, then just eat chicken.
He says
What the
that's
fuck?
exactly
Right,
what he
yeah,
says.
right.
What the fuck
It's
is
like
wrong
eating
with
a
it?
chicken finger,
Yeah,
but with
see.
a lot less meat than a chicken finger.
Why
bother?
bother?
Yeah. That's what I wanted.
He sounds like an idiot.
Can this chicken finger have less
Ugh.
meat? I feel taxed.
Right.
Yeah.
I will be bloated.
Professionals will tell
Feel the
you.
burden.
Professionals will tell you that snakes are obviously dangerous. You need to be careful.
Yeah.
They don't need to be killed. I disagree.
Yeah.
They actually
I completely disagree.
they actually serve a very very important role in the desert. They're our natural rodent killer,
Sure.
which I also agree with. But I also keep a cat, so I don't need your
Right,
snakes.
right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Every time I feed my cat, I feel
And,
like I
um,
should be able to kill a snake.
The world
Yes.
weary but long ongoing snake v rat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping the snake.
Oh, I agree.
Okay, I have had issues with the rat, and I will tell you right now, I'm just moving. Like
oh,
there,
you can't move.
No, I would find a way. I would find a way
Oh,
because
like, oh,
I'm telling
never
you.
to be seen again.
No.
The snake I would live with
No.
and be like, okay,
We can agree to
can't
disagree on
stop
this.
everything.
Yeah.
But when the rat comes through, we're gone.
Oh.
Oh, burn it. That's what. Let the motherfucker
Burn
burn.
it.
That's why I keep cats. No rodent problems here.
Isn't snake
No,
skin
but then
very chewy? And now I'm gonna vomit.
Dude,
Wow.
no, God.
In case you were wondering, local listeners, you
Scary.
should not and cannot legally kill a snake within city limits, with or without a gun.
Really?
Really?
Well, because that was on the books recently to be able to
I
allow
do-
people to kill rats with a gun in city limits.
Rats.
Right. So just in case you were
Oh.
thinking
Oh,
they
with
were
a gun.
with a gun.
That seems zealous.
Oh,
Right.
I was
But
like,
no, it says you
I don't
cannot
think
kill
that
a
that's
snake
just-
within city limits with a gun, and you must have a license to do so.
but
so
you can
just
use
so
You
you
have
know.
to have a license for the gun.
you could use like a shovel.
This
and
woman
just
used a shovel.
Ah!
sever its head.
Oh, I've done that before.
Okay, first
But not
off,
with
I'm never
rattlesnakes.
touching that shovel again for any reason. And
No.
okay, oh wait, let's back up to point one.
Yeah.
Why did I have a shovel?
What happened in my life that I had a shovel?
In your
Now-
case, that's fair.
How many wrong turns did I take? And I'm now in a house with a shovel and a snake
Valerie,
or a rat.
Valerie, hold on.
I don't like shovels and snakes.
Valerie, you're not in this story. This isn't you, babe. This isn't
Are
you.
you
You're not in the
sure?
house
Are you sure?
with the shovel
I'm living it though.
or the
But, wait,
snake.
but the
living
snake,
it.
but the snake was outside.
Oh.
Your
I don't
shovel
give a
might be.
shit.
Your shovel might be outside.
Well, these people sure did have
Okay,
a shovel.
got it. Keep going.
Sure
Killed
did.
it. They
Sure did. Sure enough.
killed it.
Is that a
There's
picture of?
its decapitated head. It's so
Oh,
gross.
oh, no.
Oh.
There's her social media. I'm not even going to show it to the
No.
people. It's gross. They've got a picture of the
not.
dead
It's
snake. They got a
awful.
picture of
Okay.
the skin. They got a picture of the meat in the frying pan,
And me-
which does look surprisingly
The
like
meat
chicken. I'm
in
not
the
gonna lie.
frying pan.
Meanwhile, in the back of all these shots are rats going high fives and a selfie.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
all-
Yeah.
Well, they took that bitch
Ding
down. We're
dong, the
safe.
snake is
Yeah.
dead.
It looks
Snake is
it looks
dead.
a lot like boneless chicken thighs. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you have frog's legs? No. How do you get
Yeah.
your pants on? Yeah, I don't.
Join us next week for Cooking at Q Talk.
Oh my God. That's disturbing.
No. But I agree. I mean, I don't want a rattlesnake around Inel, but I agree with that. My neighbor yesterday, she said that she was surprised. She saw, she was in her backyard, and across our back line, our privacy fences are all together. And she said running across the top of the fence and going down in Alan's yard. Alan, by the way, if you're still listening, if Cynthia hasn't told you,
You got a rat?
there was a rat that went down the wall on his side. But I think he
Throw
had.
all the food away.
I think
Everything
he
is
has an
thrown away.
ornamental.
My feet are up.
I think he has an
I'll get it
ornamental
shut up.
orange or lemon tree in his backyard,
Yeah,
and
see?
that may be what they're attracted to.
It is.
But she doesn't have any cats, but I have the two, but I'm not sure if either one of them would know what to do if they caught said rat. I don't know if my cats would kill it or would they would just be like, "Oh, I'm going inside."
Mine eviscerates them. Like I find corpses.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah, mine.
Okay.
Mine mouses.
Well, I have not had any in the 18 years I've lived here. I have never seen a mouse or a rat ever.
You had to jinx it.
Yeah.
But-
Jinxed
but-
us last week with the full cast. Now he's gonna have
but
rats.
they still bring in lizards. There's lizards.
I'm not helping you move.
Oh, for me to move, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot.
I'm out of town that week.
Sure you are.
I have the night off.
Let me check my calendar. I think I'm busy.
You know who doesn't have the night off? Morning Riot.
No,
Oh.
not at all. And speaking of rattlesnakes, Donald Trump's diplomatic learning curve.
Well played. Well played.
That was a
you.
good
Well done,
segue.
well done.
Nicely done.
Time zones.
Time zones?
Time zones.
He doesn't understand time
That
either.
motherfucker doesn't understand shit.
This ought to be good.
So the president has often perplexed foreign officials and his own aides as he learns how to deal with the world beyond America's borders. Several times in the first year of his administration, Trump wanted to call Japanese Prime Minister Abe in the middle of the afternoon. But there was a problem. Middle afternoon in Washington is the middle of the night in Tokyo. Trump's aides had to explain the issue, which one diplomatic source said came up on a constant basis.
Wow.
But and it wasn't easy. He wasn't great with recognizing that the leader of a country might be 80 or 85 years old and isn't going to be awake or in the right place.
Or your age, Mr.
At
Trump.
Right. At 10:30 or 11 o'clock their time. When he wants to call someone, though. He's more impulsive that way. He doesn't think about what time it is or, who the person is. In the case of Abe and others, Trump's staffers would advise him, for instance, that the time is messed up. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and promise to put the call in his calendar for a more diplomatically appropriate time. Former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster's would assure him, "We can try to set it up." Like placating this guy. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, there's a list.
I mean, I used to do that when I was drunk. Someone needs to be called now.
Yeah.
They want to hear my voice. Listen to my voice. I'm telling you. But that wasn't the case then, and it's not the case with Trumpy Boy.
Really, you're a drunk dialer?
I was.
I didn't know that.
and I would imagine that you were probably right here in
didn't know that.
Phoenix, and
Interesting.
you
Early
wanted to,
20s.
and you wanted to
Early
call,
20s,
you want to
yeah.
call everybody back home. Would be my guess.
Exactly.
So it's midnight here, and it's 3 in the morning there.
During these times of the year when, it's a little bit nicer out there and I'd be missing people and everything. And you know what? I wanted to say hi. Good for me. Fuck you. And I mean, for real. God.
Making
And
friends.
it's 2 hours.
It was a roller coaster of emotion. Right
2
there.
hours later
Didn't
there.
buckle my
oh my
seatbelt.
God. Yeah. Good for me.
Painting such pictures. I did get confused one time. I'm gonna interrupt you.
No, please do.
I was confused one time during travel
No.
and called my sisters and apologized for the hour, and they're like, "Motherfucker, you're in Massachusetts. It's the same time zone."
I'm sorry it's so late.
That's funny. Well done.
I was like, I was kind of bored. Nope, same time here.
Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock here too.
That's
I
great.
could see you from here.
Yep.
Is it raining where you are? It's raining where we
We
are.
are, yeah.
Same. Yeah. Right.
Good work.
Trump's desire to call world leaders at awkward hours is just one of many previously unreported diplomatic faux pas Trump has made since assuming the presidency, which go beyond telephone etiquette to include misconceptions,
What happens when you
mispronunciations, and awkward meetings. Sometimes the foibles have been contained within the White House. In one case, Trump, while studying a briefer's map of South Asia, ahead of the 2017 meeting with India's prime minister, mispronounced Nepal as nipple, and
Well,
laughingly
that just is
right,
par
yeah,
for the course for
yeah,
him.
and laughingly referred to Bhutan, if I'm saying that correctly, I'm hoping, as button, according to 2 sources with knowledge of the meeting. A White House official said others who were at the meeting don't remember Trump making those remarks, and that he asked appropriate questions. Who are these fucking idiots? I
The
mean,
best
for
part
real.
is MSNBC today, and it's the last word, the one that should have Chris, whatever his name is,
Yeah, right.
on it.
Oh, the last. Yeah, Chris Matthews.
Yeah.
No, well,
Tonight it was Ali Velshi for Chris Hayes on
Hayes.
Okay.
on
his
All In.
show.
All
He
In.
did it, and because they denied that he mispronounced things, they found all the clips of him saying
Right.
countries' names. Oh my
Wrong.
God, they were so funny.
But that's the
bet.
thing. How does he not?
And he does say button on there. They don't have him saying nipple, but they have him saying button. Oh my God, Puerto Rico. Like,
Yeah.
Jeez.
like he gets lost during it.
My heart's devotion.
He trails off during stuff. I know. I was like, oh, let's turn it into a song.
Oh.
I
On
was there.
Trump's
I'm here
defenders
for it.
call such talk overblown, and they say that kind of stuff is every president learns on the job.
no.
Yeah, but
I feel
Other-
like they know time zones.
other
at least.
presidents learned.
Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, I will admit it took me a little while to understand what time it was for Amina, as opposed to whatever, fine. But I'm not the president. I mean, what in God's name? Like he's
And they have people whispering in your ear, like before you read something, someone like,
Right.
on the news, they'll put it out phonetically on the desk.
Well, or
They'll
they-
write it out. If
Yeah.
there's a name you're gonna say a couple times, like Ahmadinejad, like if you had to say his name,
I'm a dinner jacket.
I'm all
Right, you
about
saw
it.
that
now.
episode too?
How hard is it to pronounce Nepal?
Right.
Right.
And
Right.
you had to have heard somebody say
Also, Omarosa is going to be maybe my new best friend. I'm not sure.
we'll
yet.
see. I haven't caught up
I
on
know,
all
I
that.
can't
yet.
whether to
No, she's an awful cunt, but I just kind of want to be friends with
kiss
her.
her.
I've
kick
recently
her.
got back into reading, so I think
Yeah.
I might buy the
There
book.
is
I'm not gonna lie.
there was a story on, well, actually it was an opinion piece on CBS Sunday Morning last Sunday regarding dumbass and time zones. And one of the things that they were talking about is what he doesn't realize, and whoever is trying to corral that bunch of shit, is when you travel, and you travel an awful lot, so you get this. When you travel, regardless, flying, buses, trains, whatever how you're getting there, it affects your
Just
body
get
and your
here if you
mind.
can.
Even though you travel, the
right.
time zones, all of the travel just changes you.
Yeah.
All, I guess, previous people in his position would arrive like 24 to 48 hours prior to a meeting
Right.
to get rest and get resituated, whereas he just walks off of the plane after a 48-hour flight or however fucking long it was, and then he just walked right in and starts shooting at the hip.
Yeah, but he's so discombobulated anyway. I don't
Right.
think that 24, 48, 72 hours, for Christ's sake, isn't going to do a thing for him.
Yeah,
But
I just
I
thought-
mean, it's fantastic to think maybe if you just did this.
yeah.
but-
Oh no, not gonna do that.
Okay.
I thought it was
important
interesting.
follow-up to that very topic.
Of what, jet lag?
No, the thing about him arriving places with no warning and leaving and not getting acclimated, that's on the list of what happened to him in Russia. That he got so fucked up at that Miss Universe pageant and like fell for all their tricks.
When he
and,
got
like,
peed on, you mean?
Yeah, that whole thing happened
I haven't
because
heard that.
he landed for the pageant, did the pageant, spent the night, and then flew home all in like one 24-hour period. And even though he doesn't drink or anything, they
It's
said
exhausting, right?
he was so fucked up, exhausted by the end of it that who knows what he agreed to.
Oh,
He honestly may not know what they did to him, just because of like the jet lag and the fact that he's kind of stupid.
kinda. Yeah. But they,
That's on that list. That's on that list of like trips that he took, where he didn't take any account of like.
well, if you'll recall, he also said
because
at
according
that
to him,
trip
he left.
he
only
left
stayed there
immediately
for-
after. He didn't stay overnight, and all of a sudden they're like, all the records like, no, you did stay. You
did
stayed
stay.
overnight.
Because and they said that he may just not know because he flies in and out and does this weird thing
Sure.
where he doesn't acclimate that he's just kind of fucked up in other places.
Oh, sure. Don't.
I mean, he's
doubt
fucked
that.
up here too without any excuses. But that one they said is like
Exactly.
wackadoodle, like to go somewhere and do like
And not have like at least an overnight or something.
some time to like
Annette likes discombobulated.
yeah, it's one of my favorites.
It's a good word.
Yeah, it is such a good word.
there
And
anything
it's
else
so
to that?
true. I mean, he didn't know. I mean, there's more because he's an idiot.
No,
there's a litany of things that
Oh, and
this
you got-
dumbass has done.
And
But
MSNBC has it. It's got to be on their page by now of all the things all the countries he mispronounced.
all the countries, all the
fantastic.
I mean, the different things when he is
The city of
saying like
Belgium.
you can't, you know, he'll say this is all fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news. Fine, except for when you can go play.
Yeah, let me just show this to you.
And it's excerpts, and it's not excerpts that are or
Flattering.
clips that could be
Oh, you just let that roll and let him hang himself more and more.
Yes.
But the city of Belgium. I mean, just some of it was the U.S. where he just had basic like, you know, that's a state in the U.S., right? You are aware that you won that state, and it's a state that he won.
None of this ever happened. We just
Yeah.
we just checked with Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
oh
Yeah.
none of it. Oh,
Didn't
wait,
happen.
wait.
But
this
she's
just in.
finally
Didn't happen.
she's finally learned her lesson today. She cannot guarantee
Guarantee.
that there's not a tape of him saying
It's
the N-word
about time. She's
somewhere.
been doing this shit for a year. She
Because
finally.
it never
Yeah.
happened.
Did she say that? I
it
didn't see
happened,
that.
but
I
it
have
didn't
not
matter.
been in every room that he's ever been in. I cannot
But
guarantee that.
But he did address it last night. So in something that was dressed last night that
Oh my
today
God,
has
what's
no
happening
clothes.
up there? Annette, what's happening?
Pneumolotra microscopic silico.
He's doing the thing. He's
Volc-
doing. It's
volcanosis.
the guy with the songs that does the song parodies. The funny
Randy?
guy,
Weird
Randy
Al?
Rainbow.
Yeah.
Randy
Oh,
Rainbow.
oh,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah.
We did. You're welcome.
Yeah, we
tried.
tried. Yeah, we gave it
Well,
our all.
I did. I really did try. That's
Tell us what
good.
a great job
I
we did.
love it.
So
God, that's
GOP
funny.
candidate Melissa Howard drops out of race after admitting she faked her
it's
diploma.
I've heard this
What
somewhere
a,
before.
What a difference a day has made. Well, you interrupted with headlines that are from yesterday.
One time, 7 years, I
Yeah.
interrupted his story. Every other
You'll-
fucking story.
And you'll pay for it.
You'll ruin the day.
Yeah, you'll rule the day.
According to our spokesperson.
I don't know. The sound effects guy's pissed off too. What a difference a day has made for Florida candidate Melissa Howard. On Monday, Howard was seeking the GOP nomination for an open seat in Florida House of Representatives, even after she admitted lying about her educational background and faking her diploma. However, she called it quits on Tuesday, telling the Sarasota Herald Tribune by email that withdrawing from the 73rd district race was the right thing to do. I made a terrible error in judgment. I'm thankful for everyone who gave so much towards my success, and I shit on it, and I'm deeply sorry.
Or lied, depending on how you want to look at it.
Although her name will still be on the August 28th primary ballot, Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections Ron Turner told the paper there will be notes at polling locations and absentee ballots explaining that a vote for Howard will not count. It's still there physically, but we're not going to be officially tabulating those results
So
anymore.
2,000 people are still going to vote for her.
Right. So we have this one, and then we have the Republican congressman from New York who was convicted of insider trading.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
I'm staying. This is
Chris-
a hoax. This is a
Staying
hoax.
in the race.
Chris Collins?
Chris Collins,
Chris
one,
Collins.
Of, one of Trump's biggest supporters.
Right.
And then they got, like, I think they showed him the evidence. They're like, yeah, we got you on this one. Get your,
So-
pack a bag. You're going
No.
away.
Right.
And the next day
Come
he's
with
like,
us, sir.
oh, super sorry.
Yeah.
This just in. Real sorry. Yeah,
See.
I got to go.
Mayonnaise was tainted. I'm going to
Remember
have to
before
leave.
when I wasn't sorry? Well, now I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to retract that.
Remember before when I
God.
didn't do anything
Yeah,
wrong?
right.
Super lied.
Super
Yeah.
wrong.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
JK, you guys.
Well, speaking of doing something super wrong,
This show.
well, aside from this show, yeah. For those of you watching our lovely webcast, picture of that. Not a lovely
Oh my God, I
item.
think
I
saw
saw
that.
this article.
Yeah.
Lovely item.
Carry on. I
Cops
also
in-
want one of those.
Cops in Minnesota made a rescue over the weekend that really is about as rare as a unicorn. A group of women were enjoying their Saturday on the lake in, is it Chicago County? Chisago County. I thought
A
it was
little
a typo.
mimosa, a little
Yeah.
float.
They were in Chisago County, Minnesota, when their float, shaped like the aforementioned mythical creature, the unicorn, got stuck in a patch of weeds. Now, thankfully, 2 sheriff's deputies just happened to be driving by and initially
God.
That's not a euphemism.
pulled
is it?
over,
No, right.
pulled over and asked if they could take a picture of the women in the rainbow-colored flotation device.
That's what
but
the cops
once
do
police
there.
noticed that the women were unable to move the floating device, one deputy grabbed a rope to lasso them back into the dock. The other cop
Got it by the neck and pulled it in.
The other cop recorded
Tasted
the
like
whole
chicken
thing.
later on a frying pan.
Right. The other cop recorded the
chicken
entire
fingers.
thing. Says with a handful of laughs and some mad rescue roping skills, they were pulled back to the dock in safety. The Chisago County Sheriff's Office tweeted Saturday, adding the hashtag, "Where's the glitter?"
Oh, man, that's great.
The video
their-
added a
that's their
tiny
bad.
bit of sparkle to many Twitter users' days, receiving over 8,000 likes and 3,000 retweets as of the time. So
Was that on the St. Croix River, did it say? Or
there was no mention of
I
a river; it
believe-
just says the county. So what I was going to do,
The whole
let's
county's flooded.
let's
no,
go.
I
story.
believe that's the. I
Let's
believe
go.
that's
Let's
St.
go to
Croix.
our lovely. See how this goes.
Oh my God, that's real. That's fantastic.
This group of lesbians can't get out of a unicorn?
Wow. And the cops save us.
They're drunk, Al. They're drunk.
It's fair.
God damn it, that's fantastic.
I mean, if you're floating around the lake on a goddamn unicorn, you're not going to be drunk.
Isn't that
And look at
fantastic?
Sarah. Sarah Huckabee is so disapproving of that.
Yeah, she hates
her
it.
scorn is real.
Yeah.
She says that's fake.
Yeah, that's
It's
fair.
not really. It's
That
not
never
resting
happened.
bitch
It's a
face.
unicorn.
just
Unicorns
bitch
aren't
face.
real.
That's right.
Yeah, fake news.
Yeah.
Fake
I can
unicorns.
either confirm
Confirm
or
or
deny.
deny.
I can neither conform.
Yep.
Oh,
Who wants to conform? So anyway, those poor people got rescued out of a lovely
Wow.
unicorn on a lake in I've never heard of that. Chisago
Chisago.
County.
Yep.
It's really weird because I honestly thought it was a mistype.
No. Nope.
Nope,
Chisago Lake.
sure not.
That's right.
Sure not.
Sure
oh,
not.
Christ and the cross then. Real good.
She's still here. Sure is.
Oh God, sure as the day is long then. You know.
So where is this river you're talking about?
Oh, the St. Croix, you mean?
What you said? Whatever you
Yeah,
said.
the St. Croix River. It's over between Stillwater and Hudson, and
Because that helps me figure it out.
Oh, I'm just saying, it's
Okay.
right on the border then of Minnesota and Wisconsin.
wait, is that
And-
where they get all
and
that like
Scotty.
flavored club soda now?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that-
why you-
Is that where LaCroix comes from?
Oh no, but
From the St.
No,
Croix
I-
River?
No, but I think it has something to do with that area because
LaCroix.
because you pronounce it Croix
LaCroix.
because they don't want people to using the French pronunciation.
LaCroix.
LaCroix.
Stand
La
up.
Yeah,
Croix,
it's
excuse me. La Croix.
yeah, the St. Croix is right in between Wisconsin and
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota!
Oh
For
God,
Christ's
you know.
sakes,
Oh,
you know.
speaking of which,
Oh my gosh,
if
they're
I
from
may throw
Wisconsin.
this out just real quick before you go to those headlines and stuff, guess who's going back for their 30-year reunion?
Well,
Then?
that'd be you.
Oh my God, yep,
Yeah.
I sure am.
When,
Sure as shit.
when are you leaving?
Oh God, that's coming up at the end of next month. Then, yep.
Into September?
Oh yeah.
How long you gone?
Oh, not
just a
long.
weekend?
Just for a Scotia time, maybe a week.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking because we play the Bills then.
how
on
fun.
That, so I might go to that game, and then when that gets done, might go
God.
for a little bite. It gets a little spendy to stay too long, But
The best part is you have your class reunion in the middle of fucking winter.
me. September 28th is not middle of winter in Minnesota.
It's barely
It's
autumn.
pretty close.
No.
It has snowed
It's
that
the
day.
most beautiful.
It's gonna be 115
it
here, so it's
actually-
gonna feel like the middle of winter.
Actually, that's
Oh, the
one of
colors
the
will be
most
nice.
Oh God.
Maybe
Oh,
the
they're
colors.
Oh
gorgeous.
yeah, and actually,
We'll see
I'll
the
go
leaves,
down
sure.
to
But if
by
she
the
tries
St.
to
Croix.
tell me it has not snowed on September 28th, she's gonna get this finger.
She
from
cannot
me.
guarantee.
I
that it has
cannot
not-
guarantee nor would I deny, but I can go down to the St. Croix. I can take a photo right there, photo up, and have the.
I thought you were going to say I could take a Polaroid.
Oh no! Well, I could take a Polaroid for heaven's sake. Yeah, that would be real
I
nice.
just remembered another video I have to show you if
Yeah.
you all have not seen it.
I'm afraid, but okay.
No, sorry. You continue on with your story there. What you got going there over there? You
Anyway,
know.
I've got some video that
Sure you
I
do.
showed, my girlfriend Say, and fiance, girlfriend Say.
Oh.
And
Don't try to be all hip with that shit now. That ain't gonna work.
not Colombian, Minnesotan. So anyway, it cracked me up because of the 30-year reunion coming up. I have a friend who has put some video up on our Henry Sibley page that has.
All of you talking like that?
Oh my God, yes, and it was hysterical. Like I was almost peeing my pants. I had to show Aaron because the thing is, this is not Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Right.
But it could be. If I showed you this video, you'd be like, come on.
Yeah.
That's got to be a joke. There's no way people.
Oh, they
that's
do.
real.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
Has anybody? I'm sure you've seen this. I would think you all, because you're all on the. Well, maybe you've been busy. You've been real busy.
Real busy.
The lady in the park. The lady in the park doing "Work It" by Missy Elliott. Have you seen the lady?
Oh,
No.
No.
Oh,
I love you, Annette.
this
That's
this
fantastic.
lady has been making the rounds. The rounds there on the interwebs. So let me just go to this. She's in a. Oh, I didn't need that. She's in a park. So she's doing this.
Oh, okay.
Listen. So wait.
Yeah. This is my second time exclusive here at Goddard Park at the Cool Cat Karaoke. Missy's funky white sister is in the park!
Wait a minute.
I think I know her.
You do. You used to date her. That's Molly.
Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. He's chirping me with his wind yip. He's chirping me with his wind yip. If you got a big, let me search you. Find out how hard I gotta work you. He's chirping me with his wind yip. He's
not wrong.
chirping me with his wind yip. I like to get to know you so I can show you. Put the pussy on you like I told you. Give me all your numbers so I can phone you. Your girl acts stinks, then call me over. Not on the bed, lay me on your sofa.
my
Call
God.
before you come, I need to sing a choke. You
So-
do or you don't, or you
So,
will or
hang
you
on.
won't. Go downtown
Speaking of Molly,
Oh,
two
I'm
things.
not kidding.
incredible
I mean,
likeness.
obvious. Oh wow, look at. No, it doesn't look a damn thing like her.
I
Sure
don't know
does
where you
sound
get
like her.
those pants in that
Oh,
top
for
there.
Christ's sake, in the park they got some good sound though.
So
Yeah.
two things. Number
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
Armadillo Theory, because a whole different song came on at karaoke the other night and it made me think of her in like a really fond way, which is
Yeah.
rare.
But that's lovely. I do like
And
that.
two,
Yeah.
it was Molly and I that developed the theory that there ain't nothing funnier in the world
Yeah.
than white women rapping.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That proves it.
And there
Right
it
there
is.
it is. And there it is.
I would
Sure.
just like to put that up as exhibit 3 through 700 of why I'm never going camping.
Okay.
Because that's what exists in the wild.
All I can. Yeah, but that's some good
She'd
sound
already
out
ripped
there
the
in
horn
wild.
off of a competitor.
Oh,
She got herself a trophy there.
The way you work that.
oh, she's
Now
got
she's
some
gonna end it.
moves.
She has a big finish.
Oh.
Wait, here we go.
You sure know how to work that. Good God. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Meryl Knight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nothing
I'll be here
delights
all
white people
night.
more than more white
Oh,
people.
more.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ain't
It
nothing funnier
cracked-
than white women rapping.
Oh
I
my
swear to
cracks
God.
me
That's
up when I saw that.
fantastic.
She's out there because it's all been all over the internet. Blah, blah,
Oh,
blah. And
that's
can you
great.
imagine
I've
Missy
gotta send
Elliott?
that to Molly.
Somebody's like, Missy, you gotta watch
Missy,
this, and she
Missy,
sits at home
girl.
and watches it.
I'd
Oh,
be
I bet
delighted.
she'd
If I
love
were
it.
Missy Elliott, I'd be delighted.
I want
Right.
Missy Elliott
I
to do
would
a video
be-
in response to her.
I want her
Yeah.
to do a video with her.
Yes.
What
that's
I was
fair.
Oh my God, that'd be
what I
amazing.
was envisioning was like the next time, whatever award ceremony, and Missy Elliott's up for something, she'll come out and start the song,
Sure.
and then little Whizmaster, whatever her
yeah.
Whitey, I
Whizmaster
don't know,
Molly. That's what we're
whatever,
gonna call
whatever
her.
her rap name is
Yeah.
gonna be. She'll then show up and do it with
Fingers
her on
crossed
stage.
it's not Whizmaster.
I'm just telling
Well,
you
at her
that.
age.
After
can't
what
wait.
we've learned about
I'm gonna send that to
urine, I
Molly.
don't.
No.
That's fucking funny.
In case you were wondering,
Yeah.
I googled the term
Quizmaster?
snowfall records for Minneapolis,
Sure,
September
sure.
28th.
I can believe. Yeah, maybe
Earliest
something.
measurable snowfall for the area is September 24th
Okay.
through the 26th. Yeah, they got 9 inches that year.
When was that?
1942.
Don't tell me it's not
1942.
winter.
So all I'm
But-
going to say to you.
Now,
is
wait,
You're
that
5
that
years old. You should still remember it.
I was not 5 years old. Oh. Well,
That's
that's
just
fine.
the earliest measurable snowfall. So clearly, 4 days later, there
Yeah.
have been
There
plenty
have
of
been
snowfall.
snowfalls.
Exactly.
Right. I'm going to say that I personally do not recall any snowfalls before October, like 12th, 13th, because the 13th is my best friend's birthday, and I remember snow falling then, but not before that.
Yeah, first week of
So-
October.
That sounds like a
all
Dan
bets are
Fogelberg
off.
song.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember snowfall
And I mean,
in October.
I would really say about all the times that I went trick or treating with a snowmobile suit over.
Oh, we went trick or treating.
Because you were dressed as a snowman?
Well, no, because the thing that's what's so goddamn dumb about being back in the Midwest or in anywhere it's gonna snow. If you want to be like have kids or you are a kid and you want to dress up for Halloween, well, why waste any time trying to come up with a
Because
costume?
it's so goddamn cold and
It's
so
just
often
fucking
snowing.
cold.
Buy it
that
2
you-
sizes
you
bigger
end
and
up-
put it over your snowsuit, dum dums.
Okay, all right.
Now that's something
That's
we
a
never would have
thinking
Now
thought of.
there's some rational
Yeah,
thinking right
I like
there.
It. Okay.
It's what we
Okay.
needed. A
We
voice
got the
of reason.
Carlson on the
Logic,
board.
ladies
Carlson's on the board with some advice now.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Reason chilling.
Where the fuck were you? You know,
For crying out
back
loud.
in that.
I was
Trying to find something
I
two
was-
sizes bigger than a husky gear pair of jeans.
I was 4.
I had my
Yeah, the
you know,
rough
my
skins didn't come.
seersuckers.
The Ruskins didn't come in
Oh, I
that
do.
size.
I still love seersucker.
Nothing wrong with
Who
it.
does
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
please?
The cords, you know.
Your cocksucker
Zip,
suit.
zip, 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 zip.
Yeah.
That's from Sophie's Choice.
Damn it.
There's a laugh in that movie. Believe it or don't.
Well,
Okay.
maybe.
Can we move on to your entertainment section?
Sure, let's
The
do
tease?
it.
Oh, so loud.
We have a hot lesbian doing something.
Hooray!
I was busy.
Now we just have a couple of
Not
mini-series
you.
to go over, and really nothing.
Be sure to stay tuned, ladies and
A
gentlemen.
performance that I really think deserves attention that received none from one of the mini-series.
Oh.
I didn't have you write down anything else. Yeah, there's really not much. Not a big week for
Something about
entertainment.
blood.
We told the blood story.
Yeah,
I
we told the
wasn't
blood
listening.
story.
The blood story wasn't pretty.
I'm sure.
That was the dietitian.
Oh, I remember now.
Ended with a dietitian.
Got it. I remember now.
All right, we'll be back with all those stories that Al teased so eloquently.
Is it done? Did I do it? Did I win?
You did it! You're done! You won!
I won?
You won!
You're listening to Q Talk America. This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Oh my gosh. Well, last hour we were talking like we were from Minnesota or Wisconsin or wherever, we were talking like that. Well, I'm just saying, that part of the country.
That's just fucking rude.
It's rude. Yeah.
We were doing all kinds of stuff. We had headlines about all kinds of exciting stories. You can catch it. It'll be posted at qtalkamerica.com. Show 354. Last hour would be 354B, and this section is 354C because it's the C block of our highly acclaimed, critically talked about.
See, we're still
podcast.
doing it.
Yeah,
Critically acknowledged.
we're doing it. Yeah.
People are just critical.
Anywho, coming up in this hour, we're going to have some two things with Kat Carlson.
Oh my God, we are?
We might even have a thoughtful vulgarity. You never know.
You never know.
But we're going to kick off everything as we do in the C hour with our lovely and talented Al Perkins in entertainment.
Well, good morning. So,
Mazel tov.
Ruby Rose, hot lesbian.
Hot lesbian.
Hot lesbian, but I guess there's other things that she's adding to it. Has quit the Twitter after backlash over Batwoman
Well, so
casting.
shall I.
So there is something about Batwoman. I don't understand it.
Don't know.
But Ruby Rose will seemingly hone the craft of cape crusading free from the scrutinizing gaze of Twitter. The 32-year-old gender-fluid actress and model deleted her account on the social media site over the weekend following backlash against her casting as Batwoman, billed as the first openly gay superhero to lead a TV show in both the CW's upcoming DC crossover event and a subsequent standalone series. Where on earth did Ruby is not a lesbian, therefore she can't be Batwoman come from? It has to be the funniest, most ridiculous thing I've ever read. I came out at 12 and have for the past 5 years to deal with she's too gay. How would y'all flip it like that? I didn't change. I wish we could all support each other in our journeys. And then she shut down her profile. Referencing users' criticisms regarding her qualifications for the part, some have said Rose's gender fluid status is inconsistent with Batwoman's lesbian identity. It's called acting!
Yeah.
And hot. Like, put her in that, like,
Right.
leather plastic
Oh,
suit.
my God. A of all.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
good
on.
times.
Halle fucking Berry right
I'm on
there.
board, right?
That movie was Tom Cruise stupid. I just put my headphones in and just watched her walk around in that fucking thing.
Nobody cares
No.
about anybody else. Just
We're just,
meow.
yeah, we're just filling up the spank bank.
Yeah. Yep.
People. The Australian performer
Gotta make
continued-
deposits when you make withdrawals. Like,
Something.
Yeah, it's you
simple
Yeah.
banking.
Give and
Simple
take.
accounting.
Turn back to a
That's right.
cooking show. Banking.
Oh,
Then
well,
she said baking. I'm like, I don't understand the metaphor, but I'm gonna roll with that because I'm not in the mood to argue.
It could be baking too. I don't know. I
You
don't
put
know.
cakes in the oven, you take cakes out of the oven. I don't know how it works.
Cats in the cradle, silver spoon.
When
all
women
of it.
and when minorities join forces, we are unstoppable. But when we tear each other down, it's much more hurtful than from any other group. But hey, love a challenge. I just wish women in the LGBT community supported each other more. My wish was we were all a little kinder and more supportive of each other. Sending everyone my love and gratitude. It's been a roller coaster of a year. This month especially. See ya later. On August 7th, the CW announced it to cast Rose, who has long been open about her gender fluidity, and recently ended a romantic relationship with the Veronica singer Jessica Origliasso.
Yes.
Was seen by many as another historic move for LGBT representation in superhero space, but of course we can't please everybody because if they want to make a movie about a serial killer, we can only hire serial killers. That's it. You have to.
And then what if you hire a strangler?
Right,
play
who's
a stabber.
I mean, it's not going to work. I'm
So
not
they
going to
call
believe
them?
the
I don't know.
character. I'm not going to do it. But I mean, she's terrific. She's hot. I wish her luck. I don't understand what Batwoman is, but I guess we're going to find out. And then she's a big old dyke in a hopefully super hot outfit.
Yeah.
I'm just wishing it for others.
Yeah.
But on that topic, Ruby Rose was wasted talent-wise on
Yeah.
Pitch Perfect 3.
Oh,
what a
yeah.
huge disappointment
Well, what a huge disappointment that was anyway.
from beginning to end. That
Yeah.
movie was.
Yeah.
I feel like I guess they were pushing for like a romantic relationship between Anna Kendrick and the other main Bella.
Brittany Snow.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
hoping
yeah.
to like get
Oh.
something together. And
So
get
there's an entire. I'm going to tell you this right now. I've told you
Really?
before. There's an entire underground on the internet, primarily Tumblr, of fan fiction, like lesbian fan fiction between Anna Kendrick and
Brittany Snow.
Brittany Snow.
Really?
Like they're Pitch Perfect characters. Yeah. Google Chloe. It's all out there.
It's all
and
out
it's
there.
fantastic.
All right.
So I mean, it was a really that was a very disappointing movie and a waste of so many talented people that
Right.
just like you didn't have to make a third one, or you could have just waited till everybody was available, or get
Right.
someone who spoke English to like.
I went to see the third one, and was entertained, and then I walked out and I said, "We can be done.
Yeah,
now.
we can be done. Yeah,
We're all done now. Good job."
If that didn't kill it, none of it's gonna.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't need a 4 and a 5.
So then we're just gonna talk briefly about two things, and then we're out of here.
Okay.
So the
Good. My segment's done.
God, I guess I didn't realize that was gonna.
So the staircase, I finished it up. We talked about it. It is the murder case of Michael Peterson, and there was some confusion because I guess you guys had talked about it one of the weeks I was gone, and that it was a 2004 documentary, and Doug had brought that up, and we were all very confused. I think you may have missed the week where we
Yeah, I
cleared
was
up the
gonna say,
confusion.
yeah.
What it turns out is, it was a documentary from 2004. Then there was a second part made in like 2011 based on things that came up in the trial, and this guy just offered the documentarians as soon as he was indicted. He invited this French documentary crew to come and make a movie, which it turns out not all the family gave permission for. Like main players did, but then there's
really?
family members that said yes initially and then didn't like the tone of it. So then there's a part 2 from 2011-ish that gets tacked on, and then this is the culmination of a third part that they just made because of recent events. So now
It's the
you're
third
watching
act.
all 3
there you
documentaries in
go.
this one thing. It is long, like it really is. I think it's 13 parts because you're watching 3 completely different documentary series.
Right.
And it really takes that much time to show you, and it's very interesting. It's a very, very fascinating thing to watch the bias of the filmmakers come across, like the bias of the judge for sure, who on camera later has to like confess something in his little confessional that I cannot believe. And I wish our friend was here because I really wanted to ask him when I saw it. Like, I can't believe that a judge would look at a camera and say what he says at the end. Like, I thought it like, your
Oh, wow.
judging career is now officially
Should be over.
Now, you're
done.
talking about the stairs thing.
the staircase.
Staircase.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it turns
I
out
couldn't. I was like, wait a minute, and I.
Don't get
So
confused
what-
with escalator. Very
Oh,
different.
Yeah, it's a
Very
whole different
good.
movie. So
Yeah.
They look
that
the
was thing
same,
is, I
but-
guess you guys had talked about it too, but did like somebody said, oh no, that's like the precursor to all the true crime documentaries. It came out in 2004, and I was like, this thing says it came out in 2018, but again, there's so
No,
many
but
parts
I had
to it.
watched something else about his first wife, and
Right, and it
that's
turns
where-
out last year on that show Trial and Error with John Lithgow, where the guy like kills his wife and he's clearly guilty,
Right.
because they like the whole documentary hadn't come out, they played it as a joke. Like, how could anyone ever find this guy innocent? But like the biases against this guy, and some of them were sexual. Like, they just harp on the fact that he had bisexual relationships,
Right.
and that just made him a murderer. Like, in North Carolina, they went right across that bridge, and everybody went with them because it was like 2004, and it just kept sitting wrong in my ear every time the prosecution would go back to that.
Right.
And it was like, you haven't found one person to say they had a bad relationship. Like, you have not brought out one witness that ever saw them fight. Even the people that are like family members that are like, he had to have killed her, are like, but they loved each other. Like, not one person didn't believe that they were on good terms, enjoying
Right.
their lives together, raising like this extended family. But they just kept harping on that bisexuality, and it just.
Right.
And then I got to the part where I realized we flash forward 6 years, and I'm like, who took the time to flash forward 6 years? That's when I finally Googled it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Who waits around 6 years to finish a documentary?
Sure.
There was a part 2. The first one must have aired on like A&E or Bravo or something in like 2004 or 5. Came to one conclusion that made everyone on one side of the trial look completely silly and preposterous. Then you get to 2011 and you see like all the fuck ups from the prosecution. Like, how much was just straight up bullshit. And it's just shocking because that first documentary was just so biased in one direction.
Right.
To all of a sudden find out, and it brought in the lacrosse players from is it Chapel Hill?
Sure.
The lacrosse players that were accused of raping the girl. Well, it turns out the district attorney that kept doing the Donald Trump and going on TV and like just vilifying these lacrosse players. And it turns out it was a made-up story that no one had been harmed.
no.
But he just wanted the win, and his political career hung on it. He has a little part of just shittiness. And it just, like, I didn't know how it came. I had no idea how it was going to end. I was really kind of baffled at this 6-year jump. But I was like, well, he had to have killed her. Like, what, like, no story makes
What
sense.
other conclusion are we going to come to?
There was, first of all, just in looking through this, it wasn't the first person who died at the bottom of a staircase, because that happens a lot, wasn't a wife, it was a friend.
Right. And that's another
And
thing
I
that gets
missed
into
that.
But
My
that's
bad.
another thing that gets into evidence that has no business in evidence. There was nothing suspicious about that death.
Right. Well, I mean, except for the fact that, like, 10, 15, 16, 17 years later, someone else dies at the foot. But I'm just saying.
Right.
That's a weird kind of
And then we get to the ugly bias of Nancy Grace.
Right.
And that's the kind of shit that you're watching something in
Wait,
court that
this
you're
story
like...
ends in how we got Nancy Grace?
Right.
No, but Nancy
okay.
Grace was screaming at it and like clouding public opinion because she was bringing up something. No one was charged.
Yep.
It was not declared a murder. It was an accident.
Right.
They think she had an aneurysm. She fell down the stairs. Unlucky coincidence.
A hemorrhage.
But you
Sad, right.
cannot bring that up in a court of law because it does what you did. You just prejudiced a jury based
Right.
on absolutely
Nothing.
But
nothing.
that
And
was
it's-
because I thought and maybe I was watching something else, like, I don't know, Law and Order.
Well, it turns out
But
if you saw this case
Sure.
at any point, and it probably got ripped from the headlines and made
Right.
it on as a
Right.
story on
Law and Order
Law and
or
Order
whatever,
or one
yeah.
of those, because of the bias of every single time, and the fact that, well, this other lady must be dead from he must have killed that one back then. Well, if he killed the one back then, there were police there was all kinds of witnesses.
I assume an autopsy was done.
Yeah.
There's a time frame, just like there's just like no, like
Right.
somebody would have charged him or put him at the scene. He didn't live with her; they were neighbors.
Right.
They
Well,
found,
and-
and he didn't find the body. Had nothing to do with it. Like it was just bizarre. But there are some other weird parts to it.
Does this name mean anything to you guys, Dr. Henry Lee?
Not right now. It doesn't. In what context?
OJ. That
No, it's
Dr. Henry Lee was
for the defense.
For the defense, I believe, for OJ, yeah. And this one says, although forensic expert Dr. Henry Lee, hired by the defense, testified that the blood spatter evidence was consistent with an accidental fall down the stairs. So they're pushing the whole thing. It just didn't matter because there was Fung and Lee. As far as
I didn't remember Lee being part of the OJ thing, but I mean, it's in the time frame. It's only 5 or 6 years later. Oh no, he's in North. Oh yeah, but you hire him.
Yep.
He's a hired expert.
Yep.
But then, like then you get to the part where like they present you with everything that North Carolina has been doing wrong as far as like criminal prosecution for years, manufacturing evidence, like absolutely just deciding someone's guilty. Then they go into the whole thing of plea deals, because people always say, well, why would they plead guilty if they didn't do it? Because like the Central Park 5, if you're told it's life in prison and we have all these things that are going to convict you, or you can plead guilty and get 2 years and be gone.
Right. You just do the 2 years.
And you
be
don't
done.
have the money for. And at one point, like Michael Peters, whatever his name is, looks at the camera and he goes, "I have money. I didn't do this. I have money. I can afford all of you. How does someone that doesn't have money go through this?" And they're like, "You would make a plea deal. There'd be a plea deal here."
Though there is no real credible evidence against you, but they've stacked the deck.
Yeah, and like the Central Park 5 with the confessions from someone who's got an IQ of, and the West Memphis 3, like, oh my god, I mean, but just the biases, and then that evil fucking cunt Nancy Grace, how she stayed on TV that long. She is just a vile, nasty, dripping with hatred, evil person. And they would show the actual court because they allowed the trial to be televised, which I don't know how anybody agreed to this. I do not understand, like capturing the Freedmans. How did you all agree to this? Why is this all on camera?
Right.
And you would see the proceedings for the day, and then they would cut to Nancy Grace because they would be watching Nancy Grace on TV, and they'd be like, "What the fuck trial was that reporter at?" Because they would object to something, say sustained, kick it out, and then Nancy Grace would just broadcast it, and they're like, "That's not what happened."
Right.
Like they ruled that inadmissible, but Nancy Grace is just like a dog with a bone. I swear to God, if if she did not eat all of Casey Anthony's bones, that kid's bones, like she just gnawed on them. Like she lived off that dead
Yeah,
kid.
She did.
She's
She
a
did.
filthy, gross
Yeah.
human. But anyways,
Yeah, and
so,
Henry Lee Wood, John Benet Ramsey, Helen Crafts, that wood chipper one, the first murder conviction without a victim's body, the O.J. Simpson, Lacey Peterson, post 9/11. I mean, he was a part of
oh yeah.
like all
Okay.
kinds of stuff. Yeah,
So here's someone with
Vince Foster.
some credibility, some infamy, like
Yeah.
but there's also parts that don't make any sense. And then the shit that you find out. Well, then there's a third part made a few years later because it just keeps dragging on. That no one knows how to prosecute him now.
Right.
The truth has come out. They don't know how to prosecute him. So he just sits in limbo. So he's like, it was
So
just
and is he incarcerated?
no.
Or no.
But
Okay.
he's just sitting in limbo. Like he's not innocent or guilty. He's not free at all. He's got this hanging over him, but nobody knows how to proceed. So they won't proceed because they don't want to lose the case. So they won't start it. So it goes on. It drags on for years. So then you cut like 5 more years later. Here's another documentary, and this I think the last one is only 2 parts. And you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with our justice system? So it really is. It's long. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Like it's a 13 episodes of hard to watch TV, and I changed my opinion 18 times right up to the last second.
Is each segment an hour?
No, none of
30
them. None of
30
them are-
minutes?
yeah. They're like some of them are 40, some of them are
Okay.
55 because they were filmed for different things.
Okay.
I just kept changing my mind, and then I read the comments from the people that watched the first one that wanted him just burned alive, and then you get the ones that watched the second one and they're like, oh my god, what if we had burned him alive?
Right.
Like, because we don't know. You still don't know if he did it or he didn't do it, but you're like, well, some of the shit they brought up was just make believe, and that bisexuality thing turning you into a murderer,
It makes no sense.
Makes
to me.
It's not a thing, right?
it's not a thing.
Right.
So there's that. So
And it almost equates to all of the, especially the religious right that wants to make every single gay person a pedophile.
yeah,
Makes there's no
but it's really the priests.
right. The
as we've learned.
3,000 that just came out was just in the
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
3,000, right?
That
that's the
explains
victims.
so much
I'm
about
sorry.
Pennsylvania.
That's the victims, right? Where there's 3,000 victims.
Yeah.
But I forget what the number was of how many priests there were,
lot.
but
All
it's
of
a
them.
lot.
And the
All
one
of
that
them.
married the girl and divorced her while she was unconscious and raped the one getting a tonsillectomy. Oh yeah, they were equal
my
opportunity fuckers.
Wow. That's
oh yeah.
crazy.
Oh, read some of that shit. You'll
Yeah.
think Penn State sounds like Disneyland.
Oh my
so
God.
my last thing is
E-ticket.
I
Disturbing.
finally finished Gianni Versace, the assassinated American crime story. Really, I think his best piece of work, like Ryan Murphy, but it's not really Ryan Murphy. He just hitched his wagon to somebody else who had a show available, and he put his name behind it because his name is Tim something. The actual guy that created the story, wrote and directed most of the episodes, and Ryan Murphy needed a true crime story, and he's like, yeah, that one works.
That guy, right?
So you're missing a lot of the Ryan Murphy, like, we don't need a dream sequence where Betty Davis has dinner with dead people. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, okay, the
But
show's
Joan
don't
over.
we?
Crawford.
Don't we?
No, we don't, honestly.
Are you sure?
So, but I just tight. And that last episode, Darren Criss, give him the fucking Emmy. We're done. That's it. That was so, like, such a locked-in, gruesome performance, and just disturbing. But I did like, and the person I wanted to bring up was Max Greenfield. Ricky Martin, really a nothing role because I think no
Yeah.
one knows anything about that
His
Nico
lover,
guy.
right.
Yep.
Like, there's not enough known. You had
There
nothing
wasn't
to do
any
with
real
it.
meat there.
So I was like,
yeah.
clearly we got an Emmy nomination off the name. But Max Greenfield, who is Emmy nominated for New Girl, as his friend in Miami that looks a lot like Freddie Mercury, and I'm thinking he was just auditioning to play Freddie Mercury in the movie when they got him for this.
Okay.
Creepy. I mean, not creepy. Creepy's the wrong word. Just right on the finger on the pulse of what was wrong with the police. And, you know, he does that whole thing where he meets him and he's kind of strung out on drugs and they're using each other for drugs in the Miami hotel room. But then at the end, when the cops come looking and he's like, oh, you're going to blame me? Like, we've been invisible for all this time. He killed some homos. You fuckers didn't care. Now he killed somebody
Sure.
famous and now you want to know where he is? He's
Right.
like, he was never hiding.
Right.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
don't see us. And I was like, like that
Wow.
whole speech, that whole interaction with the cops. I'm like, cut print Emmy. Like, we're done. And he wasn't even nominated.
Oh.
And I thought he had 2 great episodes, like 2 truly great episodes where, you know, you're used to him being the douchey guy on New Girl. So to be playing this, like, sleazy.
He gets sweeter in later seasons. I just finished a whole.
Oh
like,
no,
binge of it,
I
yeah.
watched the whole show, but you know what I mean. He's always he
They
stays
got rid of the jar and everything.
The douche star that cracked me up.
But it was a hell of a series, and like again, Darren Criss played that part so well.
Yeah.
It made me concerned about Darren Criss, and unfortunately, I've seen him in subsequent interviews where he's just him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
goofy
oh,
and
good,
fun.
you're fine.
Well, but it
'Cause he
kind of
was on
reminds. Dear God, Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, is
Like
Lecter.
when he was playing Lecter. And
I
like,
never
you see-
watched that, so yeah, no.
Seeing that kind of thing, you're like, all right then.
Yeah.
You did that.
You
really
are, yeah,
way
you
too much.
wait.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
I
wait over
believe
here.
you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go right over here.
And he did a really, really scary movie in the 70s called Magic, about a
Okay.
ventriloquist that was after Anne Margaret.
Anthony Hopkins?
Yeah, Anthony
Okay.
Hopkins. That's where I first heard of him.
I believe I remember seeing the movie poster of that somewhere
Oh,
along
and that
the way.
awful commercial,
Oh.
Hocus Pocus, Now You're Dead.
I-
Magic.
yes,
Yeah.
I do kind of recall that.
Oh, my Hocus Pocus, now she's in
But-
your bed. Abracadabra, now she's dead. And it was the laughing ventriloquist doll.
Okay.
'Cause he was a ventriloquist that murdered women. Oh, it was
Oh.
fucked up.
Oh, it sounds like it.
The commercial scared the bejesus out of me, so I had to run and see the whole movie.
Right.
I wanted to
I
sustain
don't just
that.
want to see the
I
trailer.
wanted to sustain that fear
Yeah.
for up to 90
Now,
minutes.
if Darren Criss gets the Emmy, he's denying an EGOT to, I forget who it is because I just watched the interview on Colbert the other night, but he's up against somebody, and I can't recall.
I'm on it.
But yeah, if he wins, he denies somebody an EGOT. And Darren Criss is like, I don't care, give him the Emmy. He's
John
like,
Legend.
I was gonna say that. I'm like,
No,
No?
John. No, he doesn't have. No, John Legend has 3 ways to win the
then
EGOT.
okay, then it's not
Okay.
him. There's somebody else because Colbert and him were both talking about this person, and I thought maybe I'm wrong. I thought he said John Legend, but
John Legend has 3 ways that night to become an EGOT winner because he's nominated for his portrayal of Jesus and Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh.
He's also nominated as a producer of Best Limited Series or TV Movie, and he's got 3 nominations that he's
okay.
got 3 ways to win it. So Darren Criss could only knock him out of one of the ways.
out of one, okay. Unless there was somebody else they were talking about as well, but I thought it was
No,
John
that's
Legend.
because that's the big thing with John Legend now is him getting his EGOT and sneaking it in because he won the Tony as a producer of maybe Jitney, was that the name of the show?
I don't know.
You may be correct in that.
He won the Tony as a producer of a non-musical. He got his Oscar for Selma, and of course he has Grammys.
Yeah, but I don't see another potential EGOT, so I'll bet they were talking about John Legend. Is,
Yeah.
he,
Probably
is
so.
he
So
that's
nominated
one of the-
against? He's one of the people that could box him out.
Yeah, but it's hard to say because they combine like TV, movie, and miniseries are combined for the acting, but then they're done as individual things for the actual production. So he can win the other way.
Sure.
What else are you going to talk about? Because I have a question
was
for you. That's it. Okay. You're all up in arms about. Doug even mentioned it to me. I didn't go in the conversation
Doug
any
Wilkie
further.
has the night off.
But I know, right? Right.
Dun,
He's
dun,
on assignment.
dun.
He's
Doug
on
Wilkie's on
assignment.
assignment. That'll be
So
next
you're
week.
ranting your rave about the
Oh,
Oscars
wait,
change
this
of
one-
movies.
Oh, that's bullshit. Most popular movie. We have the People's Choice Awards for that shit. Like, there's
Right.
already a place. There's the MTV Awards.
I was listening to a podcast that was kind of ranting about this, and the woman, she says, you know what? There's already a prize for most popular movie. It's called Money.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I love that we listen to the same
I saw.
podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I heard somebody actually
I'm
say
sure
that
it's
on
gone
it.
around, yeah.
Maybe so.
No, my thing was the way that we all bitch about continuity on here, especially him and I. The fact that motherfucking Brady house doesn't have a second fucking floor from the outside because they chose it before the pilot. So they chose a house
They
that
hadn't done their
clearly
layout yet.
does not match the inside of the house.
No, not at all.
And they never thought to change it.
Now, so what I read was that HGTV was going to try and change it and make that motherfucker a 2-story with the Brady floor plan.
Yes, that's what because they told me
I've
that
read
was
that.
they told me
Oh.
that was not the case last week, but now I've heard that twice. That TV Land
Was
is
the
going to
second
make
time
that
me?
happen. No.
Okay.
Wow.
Just checking.
That'll be interesting.
So he's got 2 sources. I've got a source. Print it.
Yep, print it. We got
Oh.
independent
Interesting.
sources.
On Twitter, 20 minutes ago, this just came up. The Associated
This
Press
just in.
is reporting, and I think Twitter's going to be on the wrong side of history on this one, but we'll see. Twitter suspends officially far-right conspiracy theorist Alex Jones for 1 week
No.
for violating company rules against inciting violence. Everybody else has dropped him. The YouTubes has dropped him. I think the Facebook's dropped him.
Yeah.
But Twitter just keeps hanging
Was
on
it
with
dropping him or was it dropping videos?
I don't know. I know.
No, they're deleting his account.
Okay.
And the thing
okay.
that he can't get past is the fact that he is releasing home addresses and phone numbers for parents of
Yeah, Sandy Hook.
The
Sandy
Sandy
Hook parents because it's
How
a hoax
can you release
and he
those
wants them
if,
tormented.
they're fake?
Yeah, I mean just
What a dickhead.
despicable, and that's the
That guy's
part
awesome.
that
Awesome. Awful.
I just
Excuse
think
me.
he needs to be
That's a faux
eliminated
pas.
altogether. No,
Yeah.
he can do his website, he can do his stream, he can do whatever. I mean, that's your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are people that probably say we should be shut down too for being just a half-ass show, but we're not inciting
Who
violence.
are they?
Whoever they is. But he's all
well, they're
obviously
not nice.
Well,
he's obviously going to be screaming all
depends.
First Amendment. Well,
Yeah.
but
And
I
it
don't
is First Amendment until you
Right.
publish.
That's right.
addresses and home.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was
all that.
funny.
No,
it was
First-
funny when Joan
First
Rivers did it
Amendment-
about Victoria Principal.
Right.
It was funny then.
We need to back it up with the First Amendment. The First Amendment does not grant you the right
To harass someone.
to say anything free from consequence. The First
Oh,
Amendment grants you
right.
the right to speak against the government without fear
Right.
of arrest or
Thank you.
legal penalty. It doesn't say that you can't lose your Twitter account
Yeah.
because you're a
No,
dickhead.
and I agree
That's
with
not
all
what
that.
the
Yeah.
First Amendment says.
Right.
Stop
But
it. It's not a
people
First
should
Amendment
also
issue.
understand that being an asshole has repercussions. I'm enjoying the meme that's going around on Facebook that says, I'm gonna paraphrase here because I know I'm gonna get it wrong. The gist of it is, remember, if you're an asshole in public, you're not protected because you don't have a secret service. Like
Right.
basically, if you're gonna be a dickhead and just shout off your mouth, that has consequences.
Yeah.
Somebody can hit you for it.
Yeah.
It always does. And the answer is Jeff Daniels because Antonio Banderas, Jesse Plemons, Benedict Cumberbatch, and
Oh, we
Jeff
jumped-
Daniels, none of them have Oscars.
Wow, we jumped around. Okay.
No, the
who-
EGOT.
Right.
So the only person, like none of those people, I don't know what other awards
Oh, is
they may
Jeff
or may
Daniels?
not have. Jeff Daniels does not have an Oscar, never been nominated. Benedict
Okay.
Cumberbatch, been nominated, never won. John Legend has an Oscar. Jesse Plemons, I don't even think he's made a movie. Antonio Banderas, definitely not nominated, although we all wanted him to be for Evita. So your
Don't cry
only
for
hope
me.
there. But in John Legend can relax. He has, let's see how many chances he has, because now this link is working. The link wasn't working. He is, oh, I guess he did not make they always announce the producers later who gets production credit, and he has been kicked off the production credits for Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
so now he just has 2 opportunities.
No, just the one.
Oh, he does
Just
have
the
the one.
one.
He just has
Okay.
the one. He was not.
So I stand correct in what I heard.
Yeah.
Wow,
I mean,
that's how you like that, assholes.
that's but I mean, because they
Laser focus
they
here.
they fight about that because it wasn't until right before the Oscars that Leo got his nomination for The Wolf of Wall Street as a producer. They had to fight to the last minute to get him included because you have to prove you were a part of the. That's why I can't believe he lost the bid. Like
Wow.
that's odd.
Jumping topics again. Earlier, were you not talking? Was somebody here talking about Stacey Abrams in the Georgia governor's race, or no?
No, but we
I
can.
was not.
Again,
We should-
a minute ago, it was announced on the Twitters that Jimmy Carter is now endorsing Stacey Abrams in the Georgia governor's race, which makes him the former president, to weigh in on that.
Hooray!
Oh, nice.
Good
Still
job,
building
Jimmy.
houses. What is he?
Yeah.
94.
Good job,
yeah.
How old is he?
Jimmy.
Building houses and endorsing people.
And,
And-
I'll,
And his son is it a son or a nephew of his?
it's got to be a nephew, and they only have the daughter.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
my bad.
Or grandson.
What?
Could've
Oh,
been
the
a
Actually, it could have been a
grandson.
grandson.
Yeah, the
Grandson, I
grandson's the
think.
one that filmed
Yeah.
the 49% video.
Because he was the
Right,
on him.
he
right,
was
right.
interviewed on MSNBC maybe a week ago because his last name was Carter and they were talking about maybe it was its grandfather. I didn't pay that close attention to it, but I thought, oh, another Carter, still in the realm of politics down there.
Yep, and I'm sure that's his.
Yeah, because yeah, that was good times. So, and then in the page, they don't list any producers for Outstanding Variety Special, so he may be back. Because
Oh,
when you
okay.
backtrack it, you don't find a
Right.
list of producers. So,
Okay.
fingers crossed that John Legend gets his EGOT, because he really snuck it in. Because very few
That's what
people
she said.
notice.
That's what she said.
Yeah. But it was funny because I'm the person
was
that
there.
pauses to read all of the producers when they
Yeah.
list the 7,000 producers that win the Tony Award.
Yep.
Because in a shocking turn of events in 2001, it was Whoopi Goldberg as one of the 700
Oh,
people that
yeah.
produced Thoroughly Modern Millie. So she didn't win for The Color Purple like most people think she did.
Right.
She got it for Thoroughly Modern Millie. And that's
news.
so
Good for her.
she snuck in her EGOT too. So true. I mean, you get them however your EGOTs and EGOTs
Right.
and EGOT. We're not gonna
Sure,
argue. We're
yeah.
gonna quibble.
That shit's still sitting on the mantle.
Yeah.
But Rita Moreno's are all for performing. Like that has to be, should be noted. That
Oh,
Rita,
yeah.
she wasn't producing or anything else. She was a
Right. They were all
performer in all of her
performance.
wins. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
And like
impressive.
Robert Lopez of Frozen, his are all for the same thing, songwriting.
Yeah.
There's no sneaky bits. He got the hard one. He won an award for writing songs in 4 different genres. That's kind
It's
of
really
impressive.
hard to do. Yeah.
For real.
EGOTs,
Well
it's a
done.
thing.
Yeah, it is.
So there we go. That's entertainment. Sorry.
That's entertainment. La la la
Some
la.
sugar.
So, did you? Have you? Will you?
Not gonna, yeah.
Thank
Do you think you got the 2? Or
Sure,
you,
go ahead.
You're gonna make up shit.
All
I know
right.
what you're gonna
No, I'm
do.
gonna do some shit.
All right, here we
Never
go.
made a thing.
Two things is what she brings. 2 things is what she's talking about. 2 things, important little things. That is what she's spouting out.
You just need 2 things.
That means 2 things.
Let's get 2 things clear.
And then 2 things about yourself.
And I've come to share with you one of 2 things. No, 2 of 2 things. We're sharing 2 things right now.
There are only 2 things I can't stand in this world.
Quick, grab 2 things you love.
It can be 2 things.
Only 2 things in the world I'm scared of.
Rise of frazzled 2 things.
Remember 2 things.
I believe in 2 things.
Guys are only after 2 things.
What's better, doing 2 things at once or just one?
Never half-ass 2 things. Whole ass 1 thing.
Please welcome her whole ass to the show. It's Kate Carlson.
I'm only half-assed on one thing. No, actually, I have terrible news that I don't know that you've heard.
Oh my gosh, this ought to be exciting. I'm sure. I feel like
Well,
I feel like this is I don't know how you're coming at me with this. All right.
Well, as you might remember, I was the catalyst to the near death of my future ex-wife Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
Clearly, our breakup drove her.
Yes.
To relapse.
I'm sure she's
and
a
overdose.
lovely woman. I'm sure
they
she is.
revived her with some Narcan.
Yep.
Sent her to the rehab.
Sure.
Now,
What'd you do to Wilder Valderrama?
in a devastating twist,
Why? What's wrong with him?
Nothing. I don't know,
they're
I
getting
made it
back
up.
together.
Oh.
No.
He's
Who?
by her side, committed to helping her through rehab, rekindling their love.
Who's he?
Wilmer Valderrama.
Oh my god, I
Valderrama.
totally was making that up. I had no idea.
Wilmer Valderrama is Fez from the
yeah,
70s
no,
show.
I know,
and
but that,
now
I
he's
thought I
on-
was making it
Yeah.
up because
They
of
were
your
together for like
infatuation.
6
She thought the
years.
bad
I
news-
did not know that.
They were
She's hit
together.
Matt.
They broke up.
Wow.
Apparently, they're back together. Clayton and I are devastated.
Yes, I can believe
We
that.
don't know how to feel about this. We're very upset.
I know how to feel
We're very
upset.
upset.
I can help you through most of the feelings. Confused, angry, horny.
all of the above.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
all of the above.
Maybe she wants to be Batwoman to make us all feel
We're
better.
devastated.
I am, in fact. And just so that you all. Where the fuck did the picture go? God
Yeah.
damn it, I hate when that happens. I was
Bring,
gonna.
bring up some pictures.
Well, I'm glad
they look
she-
lovely together. Honest
and
to God,
she-
like
oh,
they,
they're
oh
beautiful
my
babies.
God,
The offspring
beautiful
will be
people.
lovely.
Oh yes.
Jeez,
Oh, you would,
Christmas.
you would think so, wouldn't you? Yeah.
I'll be.
Didn't she? She called
on the
911
rooftops.
herself, right? Realized that she'd made a mistake and called 911.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. No, I
hadn't heard
heard
that,
that
yeah.
it was like a friend that found her unconscious.
Oh, okay.
And they knew that she had relapsed. Like people around her knew that she was back on the sauce, and so they had the Narcan handy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Like
most
you do.
of the stories that I read on the topic, the paramedics didn't bring the Narcan. They had it right there.
Wow.
They were thinking about her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guess
She's
where we're
hitting the hard
going.
stuff.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep this handy there.
Well,
you know,
that's. I mean,
'cause-
that's really odd because now
Here's
with you know.
there's a picture of the 2 of them.
I'd watch them fuck. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, is that video out yet?
Exactly. I
Here's-
mean,
here's my credit card.
I don't know why there's no butter on the
Here's my
pop
credit card.
I don't know what I could possibly be using it for.
Demi Lovato, Wilmer Valderrama.
Back together again.
Wow, and
Nothing
she's
wrong with
hitting
that.
something that needs Narcan. God bless her.
Listeners,
Yeah.
Just
But
remember,
support us in this time of sadness.
nobody brings the one ship
And
up. The one
disappointed.
always sinks the other one.
Well,
so
no, I don't know. I see how you were trying to come at me with this because really it was going to be it's a sad story.
Sad story.
But I have.
Are you over him?
Well, no.
Have
hang
you
on.
broken up with him?
In recent months or maybe years, I've realized that I don't have a chance with him.
That's not the point
there's
of
two
the story.
reasons.
Wait a minute.
yeah.
I don't have a chance.
All
I've
of a
moved
sudden,
on. I've moved
Realistic
on.
goals and aspirations are now a part of your daily
is
life.
not the point of the future.
Jason Medina is
ex-wife
still on
or
the
husband
you know,
game.
and potentially.
Absolutely not.
I've even given up on Ricky Martin because then he wants kids. I'm like, oh, that's just a fucking.
He already
maintenance
has the
issue.
kids.
Yeah.
It's not a want now.
No, but I mean, he wanted kids. So they're like, no, I don't have time for you anymore. And this goes along with
Much
me.
to his chagrin.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now, but I had a better chance because Ricky's gay, Wilmer's not. Now, the other thing is, I already watch people's profile pictures. If anybody ever hits me up and I see a lot of pictures of like hiking and trips everywhere, I already eliminate them because I'm like, nope, we're not going to work. It's not going to work out.
Second story about a dog. I'm out.
What?
Yeah, I'm not. No, I haven't eliminated that yet. But yeah, I don't.
So would you describe yourself as hopeful? How would you describe yourself, Clayton?
I don't think about myself like that.
Oh my god!
I need to bring back the notepad.
And now back to the Emmy Awards.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, we got through one thing.
Yeah, but
with
she
you.
said she only had the one.
That's all right.
So,
No,
you
we'll
know.
come back. We'll come back.
come
We'll
No,
come back.
John Legend is nominated as a producer. It's official.
Oh, good.
How many different headlines do you have to figure this out with?
Well, IMDb doesn't have. Well,
This
you
just
brought it
in.
up about the EGOT, and I remembered when the day he got nominated that he had 2 chances.
But we've had him in and out like
Yeah.
in the past 15
I
minutes.
let him go in and out anywhere he wanted.
Oh my
See, that's how this game is supposed to work.
Burgers,
Well
me,
played.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You can bring that skinny white bitch
I
with
like
you.
it.
I don't give a shit.
Well, I sent you
Whatever you
pictures
need.
of Milan
Plus,
Christian.
she's always pregnant, so he's
Christopher.
got to hit something.
Something.
I mean that metaphorically.
Yes, of course you do.
Gentle soul.
Hey.
Sure.
Unless he's got a big old dick, then he
Yes.
can slap around with that. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm just
We
telling you
really
what.
went to a weird place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really got to.
Yeah.
Didn't just put it in the spank bank, opened it up, and told
We're-
you about it.
Whatever you gotta do.
That's also not how
what
this
you
game
gotta
is
do.
supposed to work. It's
That's right.
supposed to be a very personal
Guys,
journey. It's
Yeah.
a private moment.
It doesn't. It's
that
not
you
how
can
it works.
share with a friend with maybe a wink and a knowing smile
A nudge.
and no details. Yeah, a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Got me.
Working it out.
Say
Don't
no
know-
more. Say no
no
more.
I don't know why there's not any butter on the popcorn. I don't know what
No,
we used
we,
it for.
we meant
Is that a
please.
metaphor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
You're
please.
left-handed, correct?
I am.
Huh?
And you two are not.
Nay, nay.
Yeah.
Okay, because we had
Happy.
Left-handers Day
Yes.
was yesterday.
Yes, that's right.
They've never really determined if I was a left or right.
Oh, what if you grab a pen and write your name?
You should see all the different things I do with my left hand. though.
Oh, well.
I just want you to
let's not
write your
get
name.
fucking
Let's
weird.
not go
Come
nuts.
Well,
on.
though, when you look at my handwriting, you're like, is that the right hand? Like, should you be doing that with that hand? And I don't hold a pen right either. I think it's just too lazy to ever get it right. But when I played baseball, I played left-handed.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It was a
Hold
thing.
on.
Okay.
See,
Can
this
we
is
go
how
back
the
to that?
imagination game
You
works.
can't just
Go
throw
back,
that out there and
when
move
I
on.
played
I
baseball.
just thought you knew that.
Yeah. Oh God, no.
Why would I
No.
know that?
Let's go right back to that.
Or wait, are you
Played baseball.
Are
Yeah.
you just thinking
What
you were a
number-
cast member
what-
of League of Their
what-
Own?
Yeah.
No.
What number were you?
I was the catcher.
Now it makes sense.
Okey-dokey.
Now
It was foretold.
Sure you were. Yeah. Sure you were.
He was
No,
always at home base.
And it turns out
Strike
I
one.
could hit. Like one of the surprising things was that I was like a really
Nice.
good hitter, and then played softball with Taco Bell, and like they would be like, he needs to be on the team. He can actually hit, and then for some reason I can hit. I don't know why.
I don't either.
But
Good
smacking
eye-hand
something with something else
coordination, yeah.
kind of
I like
works. With large club-like things,
Like-
yes. Small,
Also-
tiny devices.
Also handy
oh,
for when
that's
you
rough.
become a murderer.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good
My
to
father
know.
wanted
Yes.
me to learn golf, and it was
Yep.
very frustrating because I golfed left-handed,
yeah.
and they were like,
Ah.
"What the fuck is this?"
Oh.
Okay.
And anything that I do without someone showing me how to do it, I instinctively do left-handed.
Well,
Oh. Okay.
And it's just me being lazy. Like somebody's probably like, "Oh no, not with that hand. Do it with this." And I'm
I
like,
don't
"All
know
right."
that it was lazy.
Oh no, it's me. You know that all
Oh,
stories
that's
with me
very
involve
fair. That's true.
I write
huge amounts of laziness.
always have written with my left hand. And fortunately, I was never in a school that beat the shit out of you and
Right,
forced you to
right,
do the other
yeah.
thing. But I don't like so many other people write this upside down
Yeah,
bullshit.
I can't.
I've never done that.
No.
But like
But that's because my grandmother instilled in me I had to go to my grandparents' house because my grandma was left-handed.
Okay.
And they forced her. to be right-handed.
All right.
And so she still could write left-handed, and my dad was left-handed as well, and made good and damn sure that I would not write
Upside
the
down.
over the top
Yeah.
and whatever. Yeah, so I had
Yeah, I don't
to
even
go
understand
there.
how that works.
I don't.
Well, a lot of people, they say that they did it because that way it wouldn't smudge.
The
I
ink
couldn't
drag.
figure
But you're
that out.
dragging it all
But you're
over.
dragging it all over the top
Right.
part of it, so I don't know.
That's already dried. It's time.
Yeah,
I
it's,
don't
it's
know.
true. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
write straight across and you drag your hand, not so much in a ballpoint pen now, but
Yeah.
it would just smudge all the way
That,
across.
yeah, that makes
Oh,
more
sure,
sense.
sure.
But
And
if
I
you- if
honestly
you
got
hooked it
think
up,
that
it would
somebody
give
saw
it
me
time to
having
dry.
difficulty and was like, "Oh no, put it in your other hand." I was like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah, fine.
This is not something. This is not a
Right,
point I care
right.
about. But my handwriting is like atrocious.
But now, when you work
so's
with
mine.
when you work with tools, or you're at work, like if somebody, I know this is an odd foreign thing to you. If somebody handed you a screwdriver to tighten or loosen a screw, which hand would you?
I would just pick whichever
instinctively-
one's closer. Like I really don't.
My question actually is, what hand do you hold the phone with?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what he would use if you handed him a screwdriver. The
That's probably
phone.
true.
But right,
To call
but
somebody.
To call the
But
maintenance
just
human.
say-
But
like what?
that's
Yeah.
the same with
Yeah.
me.
There's a screwdriver in my hand. Help me!
No, but when I answer the phone,
There's a shovel and a rat in my house. I need to move.
but when I answer the phone, I swipe with my left hand, but I hold it with my right.
Yep.
I write with my left.
Yep.
I then do screwdrivers with it, but I'll use a hammer with my left.
Then I'll
Stronger.
use both.
Because my
Yeah.
strength isn't the same, like to twist a screwdriver.
My strength is in my right hand.
Okay.
So, like, if I'm in a bowl or if I'm going to throw the ball, it's right-handed.
And if I bowl right-handed.
But if anything that's physical,
Mine's
it would
in my
need to
right
be right
breast.
hand. You're fucking killing me.
I-
But anything that's technical has to be my left. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like so if
my
I'm
God. This show
What?
just sounds filthy. Filthy. To
All
those
the
that
time.
just tuned into the porn channel where we describe all the things we do with either hand.
We didn't touch on that one.
All my strength.
All my strength.
Ernie says.
All my strength
Ernie can attest to
is
that.
in this hand.
Ernie can attest to that.
It went from weirdly motivational to borderline pornographic.
Here's what I love about the two things segment.
Yep.
What was the second thing?
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
We don't, it doesn't even make any sense anymore because
We
there was a
haven't
beautiful
started.
segue
Yeah.
and it's dead.
Yeah. We like it. Nothing wrong with that.
Give us a hint.
'Cause
What we
my-
missed.
So
Did your hand fall asleep? No, the whole arm.
My hand's got whiskey dick.
Oh my god. Oh boy.
You gotta write that down. That's good.
It's okay. It was all right.
by the way, are you still covered in nut dust?
How's that going for you?
I wrote that down.
Still lucky.
I wrote that,
That
down.
was
Nut
that was a
dust.
pre-air comment you made.
We got to that. Well, I wrote it down.
No, I know you
appreciate
wrote it
it,
down. I know,
yeah.
but I don't know if everybody heard him say that because he said that before we went on the air.
I know.
Yeah.
Which is why it was funny to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And everybody else went, what the fuck?
Oh my
Good
God.
point. Yep.
So my segue and my second thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Later that same day.
Drive that horse home. Come on, Kat.
Yeah.
Make it work.
Coming from the just sadness of the Demi and Wilmer news. Just the devastation. I have been indulging in some emotion porn
Oh.
in the form of
Mm-hmm.
the Fosters.
Oh.
Jesus H Christmas.
Okay.
These freaking people. Every episode is a
I've heard about
cliffhanger.
this,
Every
yeah.
episode is like a life-changing dilemma. Like these poor freaking people.
Yeah.
Worse than Grey's Anatomy with their life-changing things that happen every single
Yeah,
day.
but are the Fosters real? Because the people in Grey's Anatomy are real.
Clearly, and 3 of them are me at different points in my life, which is what's fucking me up.
Yeah, it's a
All right.
very
That's-
emotional
it's
show.
a real it's a
Yeah.
really good show. If you haven't seen
Yeah,
it,
it is
I
really good.
highly recommend it.
Has Rosie O'Donnell showed up yet?
Oh yeah.
And I think she's very good on that.
I think so too.
That's what made me start
Is
watching it.
this what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not heard of that one.
I did not know that.
If you've
Rosie
talked
O'Donnell
about
was
it
on
now,
Available on Netflix.
Now I have to ask you. It's very because there's a house in this picture. Is
There
the
is.
house and the layout of the house
the same.
inside and out? Does it match, or are we losing our
It
fucking
seems
mind?
consistent. Yeah, it seems
Okay.
consistent with the
This one
exterior
complains
of the
about
house.
continuity
All
all
the time.
all the time. I am not alone on this.
But
one.
it's the story of some
A lovely lady.
Well, two lovely ladies, in fact.
Oh, two.
Yeah.
There you have it.
It's the story of two lesbians living in San Diego in a house that they couldn't possibly afford as
There's
a cop and a
not
principal.
a
Are you fucking
shot
kidding
in
me?
hell.
Maybe one of them
Settle
works at a
down.
bar.
Not that I know. I can't afford that shit either. God damn.
My lord.
My lanta.
And they've like adopted a
Something.
bazillion kids, and then the
Right.
children have their troubles, and everything's just
Oh.
so much.
Yeah.
But I can't stop watching it because every one of them ends in a little cliffhanger, and I'm like,
Sure.
what happens
Dun,
next?
dun, dun.
Right. So all of a sudden it's 3:00 in the morning, and I'm still watching the freaking Fosters.
3 o'clock in the morning, and it looks like it's gonna be another
sleepless night.
No,
That was
good.
lovely. So I just want to do a shout out on that topic. We're going to segue to my cousin in Rochester.
Little Crystal Gale.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Never goes
Don't it
wrong.
make my brown eyes blue? Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
So, not brown eyes winking at you, girl. I knew a drag queen that used to say that all the time. It was so
so
gross. But
It still is.
so this.
Yeah, it still is. For those of you looking for the update,
So there goes.
still vile.
There goes
Still
a lovely
gross.
tribute to my cousin who has foster kids, has adopted some, but takes in
Oh,
kids.
it's fantastic.
But
yeah.
this last couple weeks or the last week, she did the oh fuck, I can't think of what it's called. Where they back to nature,
Iditarod.
sea life,
Iditarod.
get out and go walk the wilderness. Oh my God, it's this really charming campaign.
Running
where they
away.
They
Naked
bring
and
kids
Afraid?
from the city
Oh,
to
okay,
the country.
yeah, yeah.
They take cities from the city and bring them out to the
They
country.
take cities from the city
They took children from the city
Okay.
and bring them to the country and introduce them
And
to like
freak them out.
the lakes. Yeah, exactly.
Find your way home, kid.
Oh, it's called the Fresh Air Program.
Oh.
So it gets them
Okay.
out of the inner city where they don't get to see a lot of like you don't get to see that farm to table thing.
Like
You don't
cows and chickens.
cows and chickens
Right.
and the natural environment. And they stopped at a place in New York called Watkins Falls. That's absolutely beautiful and like just the adventures. But she goes and she gets these kids. And it's a few of them, like each person like has a couple with them, but they take them. I think it's for a week.
That's
and
cool.
You just take them out to where you live, and you get them out of the city into this fresh air program, and it's just really wonderful.
That sounds wonderful, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really a great thing, and every year she posts pictures from like something that they saw, and you're like mind blown. Like to
Wow.
be a kid that never thinks you're gonna see anything else
Sure.
but
Right.
the train going by your house, like and just amazing, and how grateful the kids are for the adventure, and you're still in New York State, and it's just.
That's really cool.
Very exciting.
Very
but
cool.
she does great. She does great works with fosters, and she has her whole life.
Just like with anything, I don't know how. I don't think I would know how to foster.
You do it with dogs all the
No,
time.
I don't do it with dogs. They
Well,
end up
no, I'm
staying
sorry.
in
My
house.
bad. No, you adopt and abduct.
Right.
Yeah,
I-
you do not foster. My bad.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm
they-
not gonna fight you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
They
know.
shy
so
away from kidnapping the children.
I think
Yeah.
fostering would be a challenge. I really, yeah.
Well, you
whether
have- and
it's
you have-
kids or whether it's animals, like
yeah, you
that,
have the giving them back, the
Yeah.
getting attached.
and especially
Right.
if you know you're giving them with children.
Because they have to go back to tough situations sometimes,
Right.
and,
Yeah.
you can't like stop it. Like
Yeah,
Like
it's,
someone
you
just-
have no say in it.
Someone just got well enough for this, but are they really
Yeah.
well enough for what they're
Right.
taking
Yep.
on? And you gotta you hope that people will be smart enough to know like I need help. Maybe we can
Yeah.
co-parent. Maybe you can be a partner in this. We can become the village for this child. Like you always hope that there's something, but that I can't.
But that's
I can't
typically
imagine
not
giving a
it.
child back like
No.
that. Just
I don't know. I just
the ghosts in the lines.
tap your mic and see if there we go. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
we're done.
Hello.
It's still there a little bit.
yeah,
Don't know.
something's loose.
I'll have to check our connections. That's weird. Something's odd in that mic.
I don't like it.
No, you don't have a lot of fucking
It's
choice,
on
Briar.
it. Yes, she does. She got a choice right there.
It's gonna. It's gonna. Be
Hello.
right.
See, that's better.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Stop
Said to
punching
knock
it.
some sense into it.
Do we have anybody have a thoughtful question we want to beat up or no?
That's not
Anybody?
not my department. I only
I'm
have
ready
that's
to
my
call it.
segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time
I
of
don't
death.
have a thoughtful, because I can't handle this.
All right.
So we can.
Been chased away by bees.
Well, something happened to our chat room. I think.
I don't know. Everybody's just oddly quiet tonight.
Thank you for joining us, though.
I know Benny and
And the Jets.
Benny and Alan and Anand and Meow and Mama
Bridget.
Di, Bridget.
Thank you so much.
Well, again, if you're not used to seeing all of
And
these
Eric,
faces, this
like,
is
something- but it never counted all of us on there, so I don't know what's
No.
going on. I feel like we're missing part of
the
that.
interwebs are screwed
It
up.
was lovely to see Aaron
You
back
never
in the
know.
chat room.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not
everybody
Mama
who's
Di.
out there.
Ships at
Meow
sea.
cow.
Well, if it all works out, we'll rejoin this little party in Studio C 1 week from tonight. But as we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday!